They can hear us. Yeah, they can hear us.
Hello.
Immediately cameras start blinking out. I love it. Welcome to the bonus roll, Ingrid and the Fairbears. Fairbears.
I mean, fair bears, depending on how, drinking goes, could be accurate, too. We've had trouble with fair beer in that in the past.
Yeah.
Welcome to
our
indie dreamcore pop band.
Thank you. Wait, dreamcore? Is that a thing?
It can be now.
Can be.
If not, I shall make it a thing. That sounds awesome.
Make a note.
Just like synth pop.
Andy?
I mean, it could work.
Dreamcore. What was it?
Indie dreamcore pop band.
Okay.
Because you have to be pop bands. Otherwise, you're not pop. And then you ain't popping.
Right.
Yeah. You're not popular.
I mean, I see a t-shirt coming out of this, right?
If we could get a...
Sure.
Hold on. I don't like where that is located. I'm going to go nudge, 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 nudge. Sorry, I'm centering our thing with the character art. So I got a bunch of announcements to get through. I would like to say good morning to Equilibrium or good night, whichever is currently accurate for you. Was a great deal of fun playing in the Green Cauldron with you.
Yes. Hopefully we can find ways to integrate him further.
You're up next. You're up next, Tux.
So, a couple house cleaning things. One, the background music you're hearing is currently provided by Sirenscape, a powerful tool for your musical props. Is that a thing? Musical props? I want to kind of make it a thing.
It's a Rakdos thing already, I'm sure.
You're not wrong.
Textures.
Anyway, today we will be playing our Second Sight Agency campaign, a D&D campaign set in Ravnica, GM'd by myself, and played in by these wonderful people on screen with me. Let's see here now. We will do character introductions and stuff like that in a second. I do not know if the audio just cut out. Did the audio cut out for anyone else? Let me know. Comment below, like and subscribe. Tweet, and... wait, is Twod a curse? I feel like Twod is something that I should not be talking about on Twitter. Or Twitch. Twoding. That sounds inappropriate, right?
I think the audio is still there.
Okay.
I did a quick unmute and remute. I think it's still there.
You will notice a couple changes to our cast and lineup in the next few sessions. Demage is unfortunately going to step back from the Second Sight Agency campaign for a while. If they are able to rejoin us at a later point, we'll be happy to add them back in. But until that point, Grigham is officially an NPC under my control and on an extended drinking binge. Fortunately,
and not reading his dang manual.
Fortunately, we left off in a part where it will be easy for me to temporarily remove Brigham, and whatever happens, we wish the best of luck to the mage. Let's see here now. That's done. The Green Cauldron is officially done. Our limited campaign is over. We hope to do a teardown episode next Saturday, where we will be discussing the things we liked and didn't like about the campaign, and then hopefully be joined by the author of that campaign for said things. A discussion. I need to send that DM.
Yay.
You know, as a dungeon master, it is very weird for me to say I need to DM someone. Because it has multiple meanings.
Acronyms, or really initializations.
I wonder if that's part of why you're using GM now.
It is actually intentional because for me to use GM to avoid that stuff, yes. let's see here. I'm trying to go over a list of things I need to talk about and did not make a list of things I need to talk about, so bear with me.
Did we do the music by Sirenscape yet?
Yes, music by Sirenscape. The YouTube videos will hopefully start to be uploaded again soon. Ziziva and I will hopefully be making a move sometime soon, so we may have a temporary hiatus while that is going on. We will try and keep people in the loop, but for updates and information about our scheduling and stuff, you should probably follow us on Twitter at BonusRoll. I don't know what sounds I'm making.
Jingly stuff.
Huh? What? What was that?
Watch your close to a jingle type sounds.
Oh, okay. Oh.
Oh no! Oh no!
No! We can't play with only
they
3
already
people.
got Halo.
Get your face.
Okay, it's fine. Everything's fine. Hello, how are you doing? Where was I? You good?
Yeah, no, I think I just dropped the call and rejoined it like 5 times apparently.
Huh.
Oh, weird.
That is
We only saw one.
distressing. You know what else is distressing?
No, it's just a lot of like the noise. Yeah.
Da-da,
Anyway.
da-da, da-da, da-da. A quick question: who would be interested in joining me on like Monday or something like that to play like a game, a low stress, video game of some sort, like Armello or Among Us?
Oh my god, if you're playing Among Us, I play like nightly from like 11 p.m. to like 4 in the morning, almost like every night.
I'm thinking like maybe we can do like a couple streams of Among Us and stuff like that. Get a really cheap background thrown up, talk about shit while lying to strangers on the internet.
No, that'd be great. You can see if my German friend is interested in playing.
Alright, well.
And then maybe we can get another German friend.
I think we really should just market our shows to Germany.
I'm not opposed to this.
Yeah.
I just have been taking the wrong language class for several years. I know.
It's okay. I took one class, so I can.
I know a few words. I know "licht" means light. I know "Schadenfreude" means taking joy in the suffering of bad people. Jägermeister means huntmaster. Or master of the hunt. And Zeitgeist is world spirit, I think. I don't know. I'll have to look into it.
Not sure.
Okay, anyway, I guess I have delayed this for like as long as I realistically can. So, rolling a die. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 3. Faradir, you are up first. Tell us about Faradir. And don't forget, everyone, y'all did a rebuild recently, didn't y'all? So you may want to make what is different about your characters known to us.
I mean, it's up for
yeah. So hi everybody. I'm Faradir. Real name Eldrin Rona, or so I am told. I am a Simic hybrid of the Simic Conclave.
Combine.
Damn it.
Almost had it.
Combine.
You're an elf of the Simic Combine. We've been over this.
Yes, former elf. Now Simic hybrid.
Well, you just said don't call you Crassus, so I called you elf, and you've never corrected me. So by canon, you're an elf of the Simic Combine.
I'm cool with that, but the people reading my character sheet may be very confused by that. Also, I can't do the whole trance thing.
Yeah.
But whatever. Yeah, so I think I've already changed them. So on paper I am I did change from Beastmaster to Voidstalker?
Gloomstalker?
I thought you were going Horizon
No,
Walker.
the Horizon Walker.
Oh.
I just combined 5 different subclasses into one, I guess.
I mean,
I decided to homebrew it such that I am all of them. No.
that's
Quintessential
actually...
Ranger.
Horizon Walker. Though I don't think in canon he has those abilities just yet, but...
I mean, we did our training, so all of the remakes are done, right?
Yeah.
All the remakes
Hold
count?
on.
Yeah.
I'm writing something.
Okay.
So what are your new abilities?
Basically, he can phase out of existence and into existence, and since when others are doing so. I believe is kind of the TLDR.
So Fairdeer has discovered that he has Phase Spider DNA.
Yes.
So now the GM has to tell you whenever there's a planar portal within 1 mile of you?
Yes.
I think he
that'll
has...
be fun.
Okay, there's a planar portal within 1 mile of you.
The distance and
Fun.
direction.
Yes.
So, I think pretty much I haven't changed the flawed trait and stuff like that because I think that the way I originally played them, I ended up not playing them that way, so I do need to update that. But basically, when I do, it's going to be more consistent with the way that I play him
Right.
in general over these episodes, which hopefully is consistent.
You are going to still have Kay. I'm
Yes.
waiting for Tasha's Cauldron of Everything to drop, and then Kay will be reintroduced as a animal companion with the fighter sidekick class. Yeah.
Cool, because see, when I initially saw Beastmaster, I didn't realize they meant use nature as cannon fodder. And it was sort of like, once I kind of read through it all, and I was like, oh,
Yeah.
it's just a little not
Dark.
what I expected.
Yeah.
And a little strange because I thought, like, the D&D, they were trying to go for, like, the sort of high fantasy heroes, and just to be, like, you know, all of a sudden you become like a necromancer, except they're not dead yet. Just a little weird.
Hey, don't bad talk our warlock.
Well,
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Ingrid, you're up.
Hi, I'm Ingrid Corvid. Since we're playing Ingrid Corvidae, Golgari Shaman, currently also dealing with a few different claims to family line, and she plays the hordes person, so does like the equipment tracking and stuff. No real changes to her sheet. Warlocks, I've just been changing things every single level with the different invocations and spells and stuff. So she's no real changes this time.
She's very fiddly.
I should probably add I am the Obviator as far as acquisitions go. Believe it or not. Sorry, I forgot.
Yeah, we all have
what?
jobs.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay.
You can identify stuff and gain insight on the opponents.
Yes.
Okay, so that leaves our one and only Halo Cat, also known as Frizz.
I am Halo Cat, otherwise known as Feral Tempest, better known as Frizz. The Storm Sorcerer, because that subclass is kind of lame. Its abilities, it's got some cool things, but it's not really that great. But also it fits more for him to be a wild magic sorcerer who starting to do chaotic stuff. I'm also the loremonger, so I think that's fair. I think out of the group I know the most about magic history and just that sort of stuff.
Good point.
Yeah, in and out of game.
Yeah,
so I
mean,
think that works like in and out of game. I'm gonna start throwing cool fun facts like, hey, do you know who Svaagthir is? Do you know who this person is? Like, blah, blah, blah. Because, you know, that's going to be
I'd like that.
DMs, if you want nothing to remain secret, allow a player to play a loremonger.
Or play in a setting that the player has previously researched and
Yeah.
been a DM for the same setting.
But no, seriously, loremongers are super helpful if you provide information to like one or two characters who then don't share that information and then later leave the game.
Yeah.
I can't
But
think of any
now
way to
it's
delay
all
this
on
more.
Frizz to figure out all those lost plot lines.
Keep in mind,
Anybody else getting some Malkavian vibes?
I had to do a major rewrite of the narrative structure going forward from this point to the final battle. Because the final battle does not matter because y'all are all going to die.
Eventually.
But yeah, anyway, yeah, well, what do you think the final battle is?
Yeah. I wonder what it could be.
Anyway, it's not what you think.
Not what I think, no, but probably still bad.
Oh, no, God, no. I came into this with 3 major plot arcs. The Lawmaster, the Coins, and the Fallen. Y'all have almost completed the Lawmaster. The Coins and the Fallen, y'all are both at about 45 to 50% on. So I'm expecting to be finished with this sometime around my birthday. For those of you who know when my birthday is, thank you for paying close attention to the important aspects of my life. I appreciate it. We left off with y'all being handed a pile of books by a elder-looking Luxon. Is it Luxon or Luxon? It has a D, right?
I forgot to check if Zaldi was in the Angel Registry.
You could go back and look.
I mean, maybe, but we've been researching for hours at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's getting close to like 4.
Yeah.
So we are at the 6th Precinct Azorius Records branch. Well, in the 2nd Precinct in New Prav, but in the office for the 6th Precinct.
Yes, y'all have
We
one
were
question.
At, 7:30ish p.m.
Yeah. I like that mug. I need one that says like a DM. Anyway, I believe y'all had one question left about the recent murders. And then he had a stack of books for y'all about the deaths that fit the MO from 100 to 60 years ago.
Oh. Pardon.
And my notes are so crazy. Like, I decided I didn't want a 7th page that day because we were doing a lot of, like, note stuff. So I just started writing on all the margins and the top and sideways. And that's going to come back to bite me while we're doing case research.
Yeah.
Hey, let's do some
bring
case
that
research.
out later. Oh, so if we still have the newer ones, let's recap what there was on the newer ones real quick. Newer ones look like they were transported to the docks and dumped. Looks like they were killed between 7 and 8 a.m.?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Something like that.
I said, I'm picking matter.
And
yeah.
Shift ends 6 a.m. for her. Dropped at docks. All of them were actually local to the 4th precinct, and they were just taken to the 6th.
Yeah. Also, like, basically the only signs were one stab from basically a flaming sword. Is that recall?
Conjecture.
Yeah.
Okay, so I guess that's not fact.
I mean, it could have been a sword that had heat metal cast on it.
A cauterizing weapon.
That's what it was. Okay.
Which seems to fit the flaming sword, but it could be something else.
Yeah. I
we
guess
determined-
what I was trying to say is that it's single blow.
So one
That's
of
what I was
them
trying to do.
had airship infractions.
One was a pilot.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so one of them had airship infractions. One, no mention of airships, and the other one was a pilot license but no airship.
Yes.
And y'all were informed that airships, while not uncommon, are not cheap.
No.
It's sort of like airplanes, I'm guessing, in modern world, where yes, it's a thing, but generally those are company owned and not very many private.
Yeah.
So, one thing that kind of strikes me about this is if the 6th precinct ones were all 4th precinct people, and then she moved to killing 4th precinct people in the 4th precinct where she was home and had more time to case the place and set up because she wasn't in a rush, and then fake murders were added somewhere else, but they continued in the 4th. What makes her so loyal to the 4th area? Is it just that's where she's assigned to work and she's finding them, or is there like a deeper loyalty to the 4th precinct than that?
Not to derail, but a quick out of character question. The last one, she didn't dispose of the body yet, right? Like he was found in an alley. Do I have that correct?
Most of the bodies most of the deaths that have been attributed to the Lawmaster have been found at the location that they died in. The ones that y'all are researching were similar MOs, but not directly linked to the Lawmaster killings.
Yeah, all the ones that were definitely the Lawmaster
The previous
crimes
one
carved. All the more recent ones were left at their location of death.
Okay. I don't know why I didn't catch it.
We're looking at the outliers to see, like, if we can find out more from the outliers.
Who else has been researching this stuff then? Like, if there's another like killer
Possibly
that has been doing weird stuff and like fanboying.
I mean,
Have they been researching this stuff too, maybe?
Well, if these happened first, then the Lawmaster ones happened.
Yeah.
Then would that make the Lawmaster ones the fanboy ones in that scenario?
Well, it's fanboy.
Unless time travel, which unfortunately cannot be ruled out. But,
No.
Yeah.
So these are the 3 we have one more question on. And then apparently there's even older ones that happened that were at the 6 that we can find out more information on. So, did these all have the blade, or did some of them have drop damage? They had drop damage, right?
Some of them, of the 3 of them, 2 presented with impact damage, but they also had the blade as well. It looks almost like being dropped at a high speed after the blade had been inserted.
Was this a post-mortem or pre?
It's not super clear by the records.
Okay. That's fair.
And what's interesting is if there was nothing between 1.5 years ago and 60 years ago, and those waited like a year for probation, that means when she was caught, there was already like a 7-year difference between the last of the other series of murders and then her getting jailed for being aggressive. So that's something when we get to the older ones to look at, because there's a gap between the killings and the jailing. So-
about how long do trials go on?
Y'all
Would that
were
be
in
too long?
trial.
Okay, so it's not like today where like it can take years.
No.
Like it's basically they get presented, a sentence is given, and then they
Zone of
immediately
truth changes court. For sure.
Give me that one more time.
Zone of truth changes court, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Gotcha. I guess that makes sense. Okay. For some reason, I was thinking, well, maybe she was in captivity for trial, but apparently that's just not a thing.
I mean, y'all could have
Just-
hired an advocate
Um,
to speak for you for your trial.
we used Rail instead.
And he almost threatened the judge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Though I think it wasn't using Rail for an advocate. She called him an advocate as an insult. He was there as a witness and possible co-conspirator.
I mean, you can be both.
Yeah.
Okay,
Um,
do we have anything else on these old ones? We know there's some suspicion of maybe polymorph used. There's some she might have flown over kind of things. I mean, if not, we can just go to the next set.
Up to y'all.
A loss.
All right.
I like when we could ask more information on it.
So the
I
looks. Go ahead.
They have like records of who pulls what materials, right? Or no?
What do you mean? Who pulls what materials? Like,
Like if they give the materials to somebody to look at, is there a record of that?
yes, they
I
track
guess more
who.
specifically,
They
did we
track
have to
who
sign
acts.
something?
Yes. You had to
Yes.
submit a writ that says you are allowed to view this.
So, I mean, if we wanted to look at like who's viewed these records within the last, 5 years, we could do that. if
Yes,
we
there
want.
is a log.
I guess if no one else has any other question on these, I'll go ahead and ask something. The 3 victims, did they have any guild affiliation or employer in common?
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
The one that had received infractions for inappropriate use of the they were shown to be a Demir associate, but that only recently came to light because prior to 75 years ago the Demir officially did not exist.
Okay, well, these were the ones that were
Yes.
cases of
Yes, it was. He's not.
30 years ago.
Yes, he was not known as an associate of the Demir. It was recently brought to light that, this person was one of our field observers.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah,
what was his race?
He was human.
Okay, I was just wondering because of like long life thing, like might have been there at that time. Okay. I guess that's all our questions for these files. Then you wanted to look at logs, Fairdear?
Wait, but what about like Rancha?
Which one was Ranchin?
Rancha. Oh, right. Rancha's the Videlkin.
No airship mentioned.
Yeah, Ranchin's the
yeah.
airship.
Any guild affiliation?
None listed.
Okay, and Fee, the elf, pilot license no airship.
No, had no guild affiliation listed, but was contractually working for the Boros and the Izzet as available. They were a
Just
for
kind
hire.
of a delivery driver.
Yeah.
Mostly because they own a lot of the airships, probably. Yeah. So logs and then old cases?
The Luxodon stands there holding like the old case files. It's like, should I
guess swap
put
you out
these
books.
back?
No, we definitely want those.
And he kind of sets them down on the table and goes back to his desk.
If you want to go request the logs, fair dear, go for it.
Can we get any logs of anybody that's looked at these specific materials within the last 5 years? Would that be possible?
Some of these didn't exist 5 years ago, but yes.
Yeah. Let's say of these.
You completely
Records,
just digitized there. I missed like half of what you said.
Basically anybody that's looked at 3 or more of these records. Of the same of these records.
Certainly. And he starts writing some information down on the paper he has before he heads back into the stacks.
Thank you.
Okay, old records. So how are we doing this?
It's just investigation. Right?
It's an investigation roll. Y'all can either each roll individually, or you can roll teamwork or as a group.
I will assist somebody.
What? You're not one of the good investigation people?
I have a +1.
Me too. Watcher's going to assist me.
I have good investigation.
Yeah, I was about to say, maybe the studious
I have
mage.
+6.
Yeah, so why don't you help?
Probably.
Yeah.
You help Frizz, and Watcher will help me, because Watcher does not like being kept away from books and papers. And he wants his share of looking at books and papers.
He can't hoard them, though. He has to get them back.
5?
D5.
25. Okay.
Yeah.
Like, I have a +6. What did you roll? 5. What?
I was like, what the hell did you roll?
I got a 17.
Alright, so between the lot of y'all, y'all get 8 questions.
So what's the basic stuff like we can see just looking through it?
Okay, the most basic outline of this is a number of bodies were found near or along the docks, or even floating in the water in a few instances, 100 to 60 years ago. Most of these bodies had the appearance of being dropped from a great height after suffering a wound to the chest from the back to the front that cauterized the wound as it passed through. Most of them were known lawbreakers, some of whom were tangentially associated with guilds, but none that had officially joined. The majority of which lived in the Burgeoning Blossom and Red Waste areas.
Well,
Which district is Burgeoning Blossom?
It's in the 4th precinct to the north. So we've got Sengrove, we've got
The neighborhoods of the 4th precinct are Barwin Hill,
Which is where we are.
Sengrove, and Burgeoning Blossom.
and then the Red Waste to the north, a part
Yes.
of it. So
Sorry, I'm terrible at geography, just by the way, as a player, so...
Okay.
Imagine trying to keep it all in your head for a year and a half.
I know. I'm
Okay.
So
very...
this kind of fits the profile of the others. They all came from the 4th and were dropped in the 6th. I'm not sure what was drawing the person to the 6th as a dump, other than, less investigators and police force at the docks. I mean, you get police force based on the money you put in sometimes, so there is that.
And, were these known lawbreaker, or... I guess that would take up a question.
That was already
would it be
said.
worth asking if these lawbreakers were more severe than the previous 3? worthwhile asking?
That would be a question, but yeah, it could be useful to y'all. I can't tell you what will be or won't be, but it could be.
Yeah, I'm asking the group.
Oh, okay, then don't mind me.
Sorry.
It's sometimes hard to tell if you're in character or out.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
So, I mean, a better way
Yeah.
to phrase it might be kind of to ask what the crimes are, because we know the more recent ones, had small infractions. And if these were known criminals, they probably were more severe. Like, that's not quite a given, but it's like 60% a given already. So if you refocus the question to be like, what crimes were these people known for as known lawbreakers or suspected of, that could be a better use of the question.
Yeah, I think that'll be my question unless there's any objection.
Do we know how many there were? Because we know what time frame, but
Let's see here now. There was a 40-year span. On the lean years, 8. On the long years, 20. And then a varying number between them. So, somewhere in the neighborhood of 200-ish.
Okay, so...
Oh, could be like 600 even. Okay.
Yeah. Like, he brought out several books.
Well, okay, if there were only 8 per year, that's 320 right there.
Yeah.
So it's probably closer to 600-ish?
Yeah.
Okay.
6 to 7.
600-ish. And I'm sorry, what was this time range?
100 to 60 years ago.
Okay, so we want to do the first question of what types of crimes were they known for? Is that what we want to do?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. This is going to take a while as I read 600 plus NPCs to y'all.
I guess, like, can we generalize it? Like, are these felons, misdemeanors? If that kind of makes sense, just like...
The majority of the people that were found dead were had been convicted and spent at least 1 year in prison, some of whom spent up to 10 years. There were some that were spent like a few months in prison and then were released on technicalities, and there are some that were tried but released as well. But the majority of them had gone to see a judge at the very least.
Okay, so we're probably not talking about like the equivalent of jaywalking. We're talking about like felonies equivalent.
I mean, you steal $80 from a convenience store, you're going to see a judge.
Yeah. Okay.
So whoever it was had
BRB.
access to who was, being released and had been a criminal before. So definitely legal records. Actually, I'm going to wait for him to get back.
No, keep going.
I want Faraday here.
I want to steal Faraday's chair. No, I'm kidding. I like my chair. It's comfy. I sleep in this.
Okay, you're back. Okay.
Sorry.
So we know they had access, even whoever it was had access even back then to police and arrest records. During that time, our suspect was actually working as a cop, I believe. But for the 4th precinct, they were working as Wojaks for protection details?
Yes. She was a Wojak protection detail. Wojaks are high-ranking Boros Legionnaire members. She was essentially a bodyguard.
Huh. I don't know if this applies how to character, but from what I remember of the Wojaks, in lore, they were also known to have done, misdemeanors and that sort of stuff, and have been using that as like, hey, they get put to like the B group for a bit. Would that apply?
Yes.
Okay.
And that would be
Would I know that
common
in character
knowledge,
from
yes.
a loremonger?
That would be common knowledge.
Okay.
The Boros, not nearly as secretive as like the Azorius, the Orzhov, or the Dimir.
They'd just be like, yeah, we killed some people. Whatever.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
Yeah, no, I know that they bully people in the Wojeks too. Like, those are like the outcasts of the Boros too.
What were the last couple? Oh, well, let me check this with the group. What about asking for a focus on the first couple and the last couple cases to get more detail on those? Because, like, if it was her and she got locked up, she stopped for like 7 years before being locked up for the timeline to fit. So, whatever was going on,
Was she in the Wojeks during that 7-year period, or was it like
Yes.
Even before and after that? Like, was it just that time that she was in there, or was it like
This would be going back to her history. Y'all asked all your questions for that, but I'll let you use one of these questions for that,
Right.
as that y'all have new information to return to it on. She was a member of the Wojeks protection squad at 7 years prior to her incarceration, and the 7 years leading up to it, as well as on and off for 10 years before that, where she would join. Oh, go ahead.
Is there a period like I can like kind of tell like in the timeline where when she was a Wojek, was there less killings or no killings compared to without it?
If you burn another question, you can compare the two. And looking at her service record versus the killings, there is a definitive drop in the killings when she is not working with the Wojeks. Those are primarily the years where there is 8 to 10 as opposed to up to 20.
That's a
Okay,
drop.
so she's not with the Wojeks?
Working, but that doesn't make sense because the
no, the
Wojek
other way.
protection was when there were none at 7 years.
Yeah, the other way.
Okay, so when she is working, she has less killings.
Yes. Sorry.
Because the Wojek are very strict about that sort of stuff, because they need to reshape them back to being an original Boros member and not just, a failure.
Sorry, I
quote-unquote.
inverted that.
No, it's fine. Like, that definitely gets a little bit more information.
So is that still 2 questions used, or are we up to 3?
That was 2.
Okay.
So there's a correlation between that. It makes sense though, like she's being put on watch with a bunch of people who are on watch, and
getting to
that
actually
just kinda makes
apprehend
sense.
the people, like see them go in and stuff, would be somewhat satisfying to her too.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was kind of thinking we'd use one for focusing on. Well, see, we kind of know why they tapered off, but maybe we should do a focus on the start of these, the first couple of these.
Okay.
Kind of see what kind of got her mad enough to start.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. The first 3 killings were all gang members who were arrested, tried, and sentenced to 10 years in Azorius Holding for the attack and murder of a mid-teens girl out at the edge of the Red Wastes. Each of them spent 10 years in Azorius Holding, were released, and were killed within 72 hours of their release, with their bodies being found on the docks, or in one case floating maybe 10 feet away from the docks.
Does it list the gang?
As part of that same thing, does it say anything about who was investigating the girl's murder originally? Like who?
Okay.
Where
Let's
is
see.
that?
And as part of the question, the gang was listed as one that you do not recognize the name of. It was the Shadow Wade gang. Let's see here now. And as for who was investigating, it is showing. Let's see here. What was her? At the time, she was listed as what is that? Lawbinder Hashi. HA, SHI.
Have we seen that name before? I don't recognize it. I don't think.
Make a history roll.
Okay.
Or dig through your notes. I mean, I'm fine with that.
I'm going to do both. 21. That was a natural 20.
Yeah. Justice Hashi and Lieutenant Augustus Cross are investigating the Lawmaster killings.
Okay.
Justice Hashish is an Azorius investigator. Lieutenant Augustus Cross is an adjunct from the Boros working with her.
And so we had that information because that was the who's the current case if we want to talk to them.
Mm-hmm.
So it's interesting the first people potentially that were gone after were investigated by the same person investigating her now.
So
Do we know the investigator?
there's a lot of similarities to something.
Do we remember who the investigator was that brought her in the first place? I know Cathal was involved, but I don't remember if she was lead investigator or not.
That is certainly something y'all can look into.
This may not really bring up anything to this, but do you remember who the old Boros guild leader was before Aurelia?
Are you asking me or?
No, I'm just asking them, both of them.
Not really as player knowledge. I don't know if we would know as character knowledge.
History check.
I'm assuming like guild leaders would be pretty common talk.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would think that would be like old presidents or something.
Yeah.
Can I do a history check? Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you
ahead.
anyway.
Yeah.
That's 11.
Fair here. Stop rolling dice.
So the guildmaster before Aurelia was Pirector Azvinren Derev, better known as Feather. She did some things, got kind of caught before she became a guildmaster, and was punished to have her wings bound and sent to work with the Wojek. Which is kind of similar to what's going on. Because of that, she has lost a lot of right to be an angel. She was one of the last living angels after Sodic caused all of the problems in the past, and Aurelia is one of her descendants. And that was kind of the whole deal with Aurelia becoming the guildmaster by proving that Feather was tarnished and partially corrupted by all of this, and then they needed someone pure to lead. This just has a lot of like similarities. Not too much, but like it's just an interesting thought to bring up. She also was close with Argus Kos, which was the other Boros Guildmaster before her.
I still keep getting stuck like on book 1. I don't know why. And it's like, I'm not sure I want to read it right now while we're going through history stuff. So
I believe
It's
you'll
okay.
have something like 6 questions left.
Yeah.
5?
Peter, what was the
5.
question you wanted to ask again? 5?
Don't remember. Who was the lead investigator in bringing DOF down originally?
DOF. God damn you. Okay. So, the members that were involved in the arrest of Dominion of the Fallen was a Low Justice Hashi with the assistance of Order of the Second Sight.
In the second sight. That's all I got from it.
Well, we also know that Cathal herself was involved, so we probably
No,
need
yeah,
to.
no,
Yeah.
We need to talk to her.
Yeah, so, maybe we should see if they've got some records on the Second Sight Agency while we're here.
Yeah. That could be interesting.
Look at that Watcher. That's strange.
Okay.
That is 4 questions.
Mm-hmm. Were any of the criminals infamous in any way?
Many of them were known, at least at the time of their crimes, or at the time of their release, as being either controversial or just exceptionally disliked. Especially the ones that were seen as getting off or on a technicality, or not fully serving their full sentence.
Okay, so that makes sense. They could also have been pulling strings and being corrupt and abusing that sort of power to get off early, which is a good reason for someone to want to take revenge on that.
Mm-hmm.
Would we know, no, we have to ask that later. But, we should definitely check out to see who, fits these, parameters now. Who just got let off for a crime that should have been, dealt with longer, that sort of stuff.
Yeah, that would definitely be talking to Azorius. We are seeing Cha, but she's not of our area. We could try to go see Hashi.
Yeah.
I mean, we've got the name of the investigators, and presumably they live right there in the 4th precinct. Presumably, we could look them up.
I feel
like
we should
Cathal
talk
would know
to
where they live.
Cathal first, though. Before we
Wait,
start
also,
talking
don't we
to them.
have the 2 Azorius bodyguards with us right now?
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
standing maybe. Yeah, they're just standing maybe 20 feet away.
Yeah.
Because Ingrid asked them to give y'all a little space.
Fair.
That
Look over at
is Neath and Totep.
Yeah. Hey, so, have there been any real, controversial cases in the last, week or so?
Apparently someone partially destroyed a park and was let off for it.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Anything else?
This standard day-to-day violence of life. Businessmen fighting each other, guilds fighting each other, the guildless, being rebel masses.
I mean, yeah, that's definitely fair. Well, thank you for that. Well then. So, I may be the next target.
I think they meant me.
Yeah, no,
Well, he was questioned
I was
too,
I
right?
was the one. I was the main one in that whole ordeal. I think during that, I was kind of the one that
Insight
called
check
for
on
that.
the guards after he says this.
Make
I
an
was the
insight
main
check.
one. That would be a. Oh, okay. 23.
They are whispering back and forth, though they are keeping an eye on you.
What are they
Fair.
saying? I can do that. I can read lips.
I can also read lips.
It's like, it is mostly Neath talking to Totep. Y'all have not seen or heard him actually talk. She's going, yes, I know. I do not care. It's fine. That is not our detail. It's only a few days.
Okay. I did have our paperwork.
We've also been cleared of all charges.
Yes, that also.
Just to point that out.
So you're just looking at them and saying, we were cleared of all charges. Is that what's going on?
Basically.
Yeah.
Okay.
They both, like, kind of look at you, blink slowly, and then, like, just shrug and lean back against the table behind them.
I'm not sure if Inkard would be like face palming or giggling or just trying her best to sit impassive while that goes on.
Oh
Both?
yeah,
All
that's
three?
so much worse than him saying, "Yeah, that was me."
No, all of that. All of that.
we
No,
to
like,
clarify,
it doesn't matter. It's
there
already
was
happened,
reasons
like,
for it, and we were found not that those reasons were, justified.
She is mildly face palming is the reaction that I rolled.
Okay. In any case,
Watcher is trying to steal a book.
No, Watcher. There's bookstores at the there's booksellers at the train. We'll be going back on a train later.
Can Watcher read?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Watcher reads.
He's got an intelligence of, like, 12.
Okay.
probably smarter than
Oh,
you.
it's actually 10.
Oh,
Yeah. Well, we'll get you one of the penny novels off the cart. You'll get to pick which one you want.
He goes... But,
We might need to
acquiesces.
find a bookseller on the way home. A real bookseller.
That hurt my throat to do.
Okay, so infamous criminals spans a certain number of years. I don't know if this is a question because it probably just to check, none of them had the Corvid /Corvidae/Corvino/Corvine tag.
You do not find any records of names like that.
I figured she'd look for that since she's still trying to figure out what happened with the great grandmother. She'd kind of keep an eye out for that. Let's see. But these older set, do we want to ask if there's any stuff like inserted false files or anything, or if they're more straightforward than the others recently?
What about the spells used on them? Do we want to?
These were all at the docks and dropped, but yeah, if we could get an overview of any other magical effects, if any. I'm not sure there were any, but that's not a bad question.
Of them, roughly a third showed lingering traces of transmutation magic. But the methods of detecting that is not always accurate.
Okay.
Yeah, but that could be the polymorph stuff.
Okay, we have like 2 left. And then I think we were going to look at logs of who else accessed, and then we were maybe going to try to look up second site agency stuff. So lots more research. See if we can come up with 2 more on these real quick, even if they're just kind of out there to look at theories. Still seems weird to go to that one area, especially that many times a year.
I mean, isn't it pretty remote?
Around the same time, I don't think we can get this from these files. I'm wondering if there's more missing than that kind of thing, where it could be another site or use. We won't find that from those files. This might be more going back to her file, but she was on and off working for the Wojak protection. So what were her other duties in that time span? And would either of those sets of duties give her access to the arrest records?
Checking them over, you find that between periods of her working on the Wojak protection, she was working as a bodyguard for a mid-level Azorius lawbinder by the name of she.
Damn it.
So she was doing bodyguard for the person that later arrested her?
Mm-hmm.
And is now investigating her?
Anyone else got an out there 8th question? We got one last question.
This isn't for these documents, but am I the only one kind of interested in how she got the fake reports of the victims outside of the 4th? For the law master?
They were entered in here, so someone dropped them off, but they weren't signed.
Okay.
Like, they had people's names that would have been official, but they weren't signed by those people. We could do last question, or we can drop it. I think...
I can't really think of anything.
Yeah.
Though it does seem
So this
weird
would-
that...
Go ahead.
It does seem they would be real careful about disposing of the body and how it's sort of like... So either, I don't think they're getting more sloppy, I think they're intentionally trying to send a message of like, look, do your damn job, sort of thing.
This did span the period of the decamillennial, if that makes a difference for it. Because we're like 80 years past the decamillennial, and this went back 100 years.
Mm-hmm.
So this did start about 20 years before the period of the Decamillennial.
Yep.
What's the significance of that?
The Decamillennial is when the guild pack was broken, the Dimir were revealed, and several other major events happened.
Okay.
You know, basically, a secret society got revealed, and oh, by the way, the constitution that governs our life is no longer valid.
And pretty much everyone went to war at that point because you couldn't be poofed by the Guild Pact anymore.
Okay.
I guess, do we want to ask if there's any stranger behavior around the time of the Guild Pact, or?
Sure, yeah. No, you can do that.
Yeah, that's all I've got. Any pattern change or anything near the Decamillennial time? Because that's a time when Wojaks and stuff were very busy.
For 10 days prior to the Decamillennial and 20 days after, there were no killings, which is one of the longer spans where there was no killings.
Okay, so Fairdeer, you are going up and asking about records access, and he was getting you a list.
Yes.
Yep, in fact, he has a list ready and waiting when Fairdeer gets up there.
Thank you.
He hands you the list. The only people listed on the log is Justice Hashi, a year ago, accessed these records, and a group listed as Second Sight Agency accessed them today. Those are the only accesses within the past 3 years of the 100 to 60 year ago case files.
Okay.
Yeah.
That he was asking about the 3-year, the 3 newer ones too for access, but I'm not sure.
That has the same list.
Okay.
I mean, so it's clear that I think that it's. So wait. So a year ago would be when the Lawmaster started back up again? Do I have
A
that
year and
timeline
a
or no?
half or 3 years or something. I forget. I have it written down, but
A year and a half.
And he
they were
accessed
released
it
3 years ago. A year and a half was
When
it started back up.
Yeah.
a year and a half ago they started, and then a year ago Hashi accessed the records. Do I have that timeline right?
Yes.
That kind of makes sense because he'd be like, hey, so I would think that he would have his suspicions, but for whatever reason he hasn't taken
Her, right?
action.
Her, Hashi?
She is
Sorry, did
female.
I assume gender? I apologize.
No worries.
Um,
She is a female human, it says.
okay, I'll try to.
Okay.
Injustice, that would make them pretty high up the food chain, right?
They are one step below judge.
Okay.
It goes justice.
And is it common? Is it common for like somebody that worked previous cases to be the person in charge for other cases, or would that just be random draw?
Depends. Judges and people like that are assigned on location, assigned based on location, availability, and expertise. For the most part, though it is possible for a captain to request a specific justice or investigator.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't think about the location thing, so since it's a consistent location, it may not be as weird that Hashi if my tongue works correctly, would be keep popping up. I'm assuming.
So do we want to actually ask about second side agency records or just talk to Cathal later? I mean,
I don't mind looking while we're here. I was going to ask about my own family names. Do you guys want to
do you want to ask about your family name right now? Because we came in here with a writ on apprehending someone, and we're looking at suspect list. Is that really the best thing to look at your family name for? Like, it would kind of imply that your family is being looked at as criminal suspects.
Look at second side agents.
Wait, that can make us all suspects.
We can just ask Cathal.
No. Second side agency is listed as an involved part.
No, it's not.
Just getting background.
It is not.
People who have records, second side agency.
No.
Who assisted with DOF, second side agency.
No. Order of the second site.
Okay.
So, like, the second side agency, though, is an organization, and, like, it could be interpreted that we're looking for someone in the second side agency. Like an individual. We just want to see, like, the documents on that. It could be interpreted just as bad as looking at your family.
Yeah, we could just check with Cathal first. And, we could say, like, we're looking into who the investigators were to see if there's anyone to talk to someone, but that gets a little thin, and we don't... Why are you looking at your family records in a police search anyway, fair dear?
Can't I just, like, help you out with that a little bit later?
Please.
What?
I'd appreciate it.
Did you get some leads on your family? I know you found your wife.
Yeah,
she
just
found him.
Kind of. Yeah. Just sort of. I don't know, it's just been kind of nagging at me, you know?
Okay.
Like, I don't want to, like, take up a bunch of company time, because I know, like, Lawmaster killing people important, but just can't get it out of my head, you know?
What time are we at right now, like, game-wise?
It's almost 9.
Yeah, we should...
Do we want to get, like, just a couple hours rest before we go meet Cha? That way we can, you know...
You have about 3 hours before she's expecting to meet you at the Crook and Noose.
Maybe check in, get a room, get a couple hours rest, and then go meet her?
Sounds fine to me.
And there's probably not a whole lot of shopping in New Prov at 9 p.m.
Yeah. Isn't she expecting us, though?
At midnight?
Yeah.
Yeah, she works late shift, so yeah, I think maybe we
3 hours.
Or we could just go hang out at the tavern for 3 hours. Don't drink a whole lot, fair dear.
Also, can I do a thing real quick?
Sure.
Like an ability thing? Okay, so I want to use my Loremonger thing and examine Faraday, okay?
Okay.
I can select a human I can see. It makes a DC 15 investigation check. On a success, I learn the following information: his name, up to 3 aliases he has used, his prior profession, and skill proficiencies.
Okay. Go ahead.
Just want to see if I get anything from that. I doubt it, but it would just be kind of weird. Let's see. That will be.
Are you going to explain this to me while you're staring at me?
He's listening to a can.
No, I'm just kind of looking at you weird. Yeah, I am. It is a 16, which is beats a 15.
Okay. So, Elrond and Rona. I think I've pronounced that right.
Mm-hmm.
Also known as Faradir. Also known as Low Justice Elrond and Rona.
Ah. I'm going to repeat all that.
Then Justice. He can read you the rest of the stuff.
Yeah, what tool proficiencies do you have?
Answer the man.
Alchemist supplies and poisoner's kit.
Cool, just wondering. And what job do you have right now?
Agent of the Second Sight Order.
Elran or Eldrin? Is it Eldrin?
Eldrin, sorry.
Eldrin. Huh. Well, my jar just told me that you're. What was the term again?
Low
Low
justice.
Low justice. You're a low justice.
Huh.
What's a low justice? I look over at the two Azorius. Do you know what that is?
They are one step above investigator. They generally can request to take over investigations, but function across the borders of individual precincts.
So, Ingrid will start marching them out of the office.
Take over investigations, you say?
They are essentially the FBI, wherein they can come into a job and say, this is something that is pertinent to our investigations. We are taking this over.
Huh.
You know, can y'all show us where that tavern is? And she's going to start herding everyone out. And by the way, just tell us what you know about him. That would be really helpful.
About him, and they point at Faradir.
Yeah.
He has the same name as a lower tier justice that disappeared several years ago.
And would this justice be married?
I do not know. I did not personally know him.
That's fair.
Do you know anything about that justice?
He disappeared a few years ago. There was some controversy about him having outstanding Orzhov debts. His father was a senator. He retired to the Greenbelt. I think he is doing something like raising deer.
Furious note
I just
taking.
want to get us to the deer races.
Also, yeah, I probably need to submit a form or two. May want to wait until Rail gets back.
Ingrid's just
Rail's
herding
not here.
everyone towards
They're walking,
the tavern. And
they're walking.
Yeah, they're walking.
We're walking and talking.
Neith and Thotep lead the way-ish. Neith leads the way, Thotep walks behind y'all so he can keep you all on his view.
I'm not sure if Ingrid might actually know the way if it's one of the bars closest to Chaw's work.
Ingrid would know the way, yes. Arriving at the Crook and Noose, you see a literal noose hanging from the sign, although it has been made safe by having the inside of it filled with wood. So no one could accidentally hurt themselves with it. Inside, the bar is runs along the back wall from end to end, with 3 bartenders behind it, 2 of whom are goblins in red and black undershirt with overcoat, red undershirt, black overcoat, and a human in the same outfit. Everyone else in the place, and it is pretty full, is wearing Azorius blues and silvers.
Even the servers?
The servers are not wearing any guild-affiliated colors that you can see. Most of them are wearing either white or brown, which has become the kind of unofficial colors of the Gateless.
Gateless.
Yes, what'd I say?
Gateless.
Both work.
Gateless also works, yeah.
Okay, can you explain the gateless to me?
Each guild is associated with a specific gate in the Imperative Maze, which had to be run to recreate the guild pack and embody it in the persona of the living guild pact.
Okay.
Think of it as like a ley line of magic, and that ley line comes together at the gates. And if you follow the ley line properly, the
I
certain
feel like
events,
this is
they've recreated
Faradir would know this because this is basic of the basics, but as a
Uh,
player, I did not.
not
kinda.
super well known, but like the term gateless has been used a lot in the past few
Okay.
years.
Yeah, the maze run would definitely be known. That's like a whole cultural thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In fact, there are
and then,
recreations of the maze run every year now.
Okay, interesting,
It's a holiday.
cool.
That's my
Yeah, there's like
athletics.
essentially
No.
there was like one of every guild member who went, and then also like somehow our guild leader Jace did it too. I don't remember which guild he was with. I think he was just himself.
He
I don't
just
know why.
showed up and no one stopped him. Yes.
Yeah, he's just sort of like, yeah, I'm just gonna run, and everybody's like, yes, sir.
Yeah, you had some of the coolest people in there. I mean,
Yeah.
Mellet.
I kind of feel, yeah, it'd be like the Simic keep on getting disqualified for natural. Come in and
Illegal
like their
experimentation.
freaking calves are like 3 feet out.
No,
like,
that doesn't disqualify you. In fact,
No,
they
that
were going
doesn't.
to
In
run
fact-
an Is It construct. It just happened to get murdered right beforehand.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
no, it's like disqualify you. In fact, it helps you because it embodies your guild more.
It's like if
Yeah.
you know in Shadowrun, you can use magic items, magic foci that are representative of things. So if you wanted to, like, you had a mentor spirit that was very chaos and anarchy, you could get a weapon focus in the shape of a bat wrapped in barbed wire.
So basically, this marathon is just wacky races.
Kinda, yeah.
For Ravnica.
Think of like wacky races, but like deadly.
Yeah, with, people getting killed.
Wacky races
Yeah.
in the Hunger Games. Just
Yeah, no, that's actually pretty accurate. Yeah,
Yeah, that would do it.
think of like
wait,
Fall
what
Guys,
were the
but not
game-
cartoony.
but that's not related to the games that the Rakdos are doing, right?
No, the Rakdos games are
Okay.
their own thing.
Just their own thing. Okay.
Yeah, the Rakdos just have games for fun.
Well, that
Sorry,
and
I
to
know.
figure out their position within the guild structure themselves.
I apologize. I'm super ADHD today.
So
Alright,
I'm going to
that's
go
all
ahead and make my other pools for my Horde Master thing real quick.
Okay, so y'all arrive at the bar. Y'all are given a ticket. A young Videlkin server in just a white smock leads you over. They pull out the chair for Ingrid and for Frizz, and then push them both in before going to get a menu pad and coming back. So, what can I get for you?
So but we got a table big enough for everyone, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Because I assume you would tell them how many people you were expecting.
Yeah.
Well, we just want something light because we're waiting for company later. She looks at the guard she doesn't know too well. Is a round of ale acceptable for y'all?
They
Water for me.
both, like, they look at each other and he goes, we're currently on duty.
Free
What
waters
is
for us.
acceptable on duty that you would enjoy here?
We'll order for ourselves, thank you.
Okay. I'll just get a little picture of like the watered wine kind of thing, like you'd put with dinner, and get like some chips for the table kind of thing.
Brit chips or American chips?
Appetizers, kind of just whatever's
Okay.
there.
And anything else? Okay. A pitcher of water and a cup is brought for Faradir. Ingrid gets a pitcher of weak wine and a number of cups. And set at the table is a basket of what appears to be very thinly sliced and fried. It's not potato. It's
Jicama?
Thank you.
Sure.
Yes. Jicama.
Okay.
How the?
Very cool.
I don't know how you did that. I'm distressed by the fact that you pulled a word out of my brain.
They're potato-like starch. Okay, so I pulled 2 arcane focus crystals from the bag and 6 of what are those arrows called that Fairdeer was window shopping for the other day? The prone ones?
Fouling arrows. Describe the crystals.
They are both like a really light red rubyish color crystal, and they look kind of jagged and raw on one side and smooth on the other.
Okay. They're traditionally called fouling bolts, but they're also known as walloping arrows.
I think that's what they were called earlier.
Okay, not to be pedantic, but are these bolts or arrows?
They're bolts, I assume.
Bolts.
Okay.
Okay, so Ingrid fishes around in her bag and pulls out 6 arrows that like have a big blunt tip thing on them and pushes them over to Fairdeer. Got you some more supplies from storage in case you need them. You know, since you're in danger of being attacked, you should probably load those in case.
Thank you. And Michelle, try to sort of somewhat under the table because I assume loading a weapon in the middle of a public bar is probably not considered the most polite or
that is
socially acceptable.
I was about to say that's a big assumption that this is a public bar.
In a bar that is not frequented by adventurers, by like normal people who work at like, office jobs and see. Okay.
I mean, you could just put them in your bag and load them when you get outside.
That would be a 23.
23? Yeah, no, you pop the magazine out, you insert the bolts, and you pop the magazine back in. How it functions is there is a catch at the bottom, you release it, and a rectangle holding hopper pops up. You insert the bolts into that, and then press it back down. And it locks in place.
You know, sometime, Frizz, you should help him take a look at the mechanics of that bow. That crossbow. It's got a very is-it feel to it. You should help him analyze it. And she casts guidance and taps Fairdeer.
I guess I'll... Sure.
What is Fairdeer doing?
I'm going to make the intelligence check to see if I did everything.
Activate it, yeah.
Yes. No!
So you're not getting his help?
I are done.
I'm gonna have him re-roll.
Well, okay.
Don't forget
With
your
the
D4.
thing.
Okay.
Whatever it's called.
Tides of Chaos. Oh, shit. Okay.
Don't forget your D4, Fairdeer.
21.
21?
Have a D.
There is a second where it doesn't look like it's going to work, and then everyone's head hurts for a moment, and they, when the pain fades, the lattice work of the heart of the bow slides back and reveals a pulsing, glowing center of energy. Coursing lines of white power appear along the framework of the crossbow.
You know what? Hey, Frizz, can you make anything with this?
Mm-hmm.
Well, you remember
Look at it.
what we found out?
Arcana check.
Yeah, because I don't think he's ever seen it activated.
I'd like to make
it
an
may be a little different.
too, because I know a little bit from the is it thing.
Go ahead.
The place where
27.
27? Okay.
oh, I didn't do good. I got a 9. But I still know what I know at least.
Alright, so this looks to be a form of contained magical energy with similar to the crystal spheres that you have been gathering from constructs. It is surrounded by a lattice work of mysium that seems to respond to thought processes. Essentially, thinking at it moves the lattice work, and if you move the lattice work in the proper motions, the lattice work will fully unlock, revealing the core, which then discharges energy through the bow itself and enhancing its performance. there is definite rooms for upgrades and improvements to this design, though.
We actually found out that it can actually hold like intelligent thought, perhaps. Like it's some sort of housing.
It is definitely possible to imprint a arcane intelligence upon it.
Interesting. You might want to give that to Rail.
Why?
Because that's a railgun.
God damn it.
I want to be mad.
But
I want to
can't.
be mad, but you know what? Your next drink is on me.
Thank you.
So Ingrid's gonna be getting like 2 hours of jewel crafting in between like the 3 hours they're working to work on these arcane crystals.
Okay.
Just imagine she's like pulling out a grinder in the middle of this bar. It's just like crystal dust is just flying around in this like upscale bar.
I mean, you're leaving Ingrid alone and she's gonna start tinkering with stuff.
I mean, that's
it is
fair.
a less than ideal situation for doing this. If you were doing much more than some light work on it, I would require you to make it a disadvantage, but since you're just doing light work, I'll go ahead and let you roll it straight.
For like the 2 hours amount?
Yes.
Okay, so it is intelligence and proficiency, right?
Yep.
24.
Okay. Yeah, you make some good progress on it. Basically, you're just working on it while taking sips of your wine.
Yeah. Technically, what I'm doing is I'm taking the 20 in materials with the arcane focuses and working on the 25 crafting for the art object thing. So I'll be doing like, I guess, that role later. I don't know if the 24 counts as one of the increased rolls or not.
I will count it as one of the increased rolls.
And any additional time, I'm probably resting my eyes because I've done a lot of reading today so far. So not like going to sleep, but definitely like eyes closed, just giving my eyes a breather.
Okay. Over the course of the time, unless anything else is going on or anyone wants to do anything else, eventually Cha will show up. Ingrid, of course, recognizes her as just Faradir. Frizz, this is the woman that Ingrid took y'all to meet earlier in the day. A short, slightly tanned skin woman with hair that's growing a little bit longer. She is in Azorius captain outfit uniform, with a owl perched on her shoulder with a skull cap and 2 little ribbons running down the front of its chest.
Hi.
Yay.
She kind of like pulls out a chair, looks to the approaching waiter, and the waiter turns around, nods, and is like, "So, you dropped a lot of information on me today. Thank you for that. I have to inform you that the writ that you have is no longer valid."
The bounty?
Also yes. Azorius has, don't look at me like that, Ingrid.
Cha!
I do not make the decisions, I just report what I find, and get told to do things.
I mean, that's fair. But kinda sucks for our bank balance.
She kind of sighs. Look, the bounty has not been officially repealed yet. Just the writ. If you can get the your angel captured before we do, or before the bounty gets officially revoked, then you could still possibly collect.
Time being of the essence, then. But, funner stuff, that's new ribbons.
She scratches the owl's cheek, picks him up off of her shoulder and sets him on the table. He hops around a little bit, goes and steals one of the chips, and then hops back towards her.
That does mean the end of going to investigate for a little bit. So we'll have to figure out what we're doing from there. Probably stay the night here and head out pretty early morning.
After a few moments, a very large, maybe 64-ounce cup of a dark and slightly frothy alcohol is set in front of Cha. She picks it up and just starts. After about a full minute, she sets the half-empty cup down.
Thanks for the cards, by the way.
Of truth or dare, and you're having that big a cup. Must have been a day.
Yes, I can't talk about it.
Okay.
Thank you for the cards.
You do not need to thank me.
Okay. Are you okay?
Are you okay?
I'm a little concerned about you.
If you're going to judge it by how okay he is, I am seriously worried about you, Cha.
I am fine. It's just having an investigation shift gears on you that you are not currently a part of is a little disjarring.
Can I ask you a somewhat related work question?
As long as it's not personal and does not involve classified materials, sure.
Are you familiar with this Justice Hashi person?
No. Not personally. I mean, there are something in the neighborhood of 800 justices across the low, the mid, and the high justice rank.
That's fair.
Working out of New Prav, I mostly work with high justices in preparation for trials.
Hey, what happens to guild status when low justices go missing?
Depends. If generally the dead do not retain their guild status. There are some exceptions. She gestures to Ingrid. But for the most part, the dead are guildless.
Okay. Yeah, I'm probably going to have to write a very cleverly worded letter to a former boss at some point.
Probably.
What about missing?
What do you mean?
Let's say a low justice is declared missing.
Depends on how long they are missing. If they're missing for a few days, nothing. If they're missing long enough to be declared dead, then, well, see my previous statement.
You should look into that. But what if they were declared dead, but they actually were alive? There was no dead.
They would need some way to prove their identity.
Okay.
And then submit the correct paperwork to be reinstated.
Okay.
If they still wished for the job, or if they were still acceptable for the position.
I mean, I can't say I'm any worse. Might have to take a few night classes. Not gonna lie. He's just kind of muttering to himself.
We should probably go verify that first, Faraday. Maybe a trip to the Greenbelt.
Yeah, I mean, that's gonna be a little awkward.
Your wife and go to the Greenbelt sometime.
Probably be.
Oh, Faraday's married now.
Congratulations. Who is the lucky woman?
Arasa and Rona. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
I wrote it told Choso, but I forgot to mention it to you in the letter, because, all this other stuff.
Is this the same one who was in charge of the precognitive ops?
Is she still?
No, she disappeared a few years after her husband disappeared.
Yeah, she's a cook now.
Congratulations on your nuptials. I hope that you are very happy.
It's okay, John. When they straighten it out, we'll fill in the blanks better. They're still working on it.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
sometimes when you have that friend with a lot of drama and you're not sure what's going on, we're having that right now with Faraday.
Would you like him arrested?
No.
Oh.
Wait, I want her to write a book.
Please allow someone to read it before it is handed over to the Demir for publishing. If this is the same Orisa, then there may be classified information that we would prefer not be publicly acknowledged.
I was thinking
it'd be really weird if they had.
But that does make sense.
Yeah, it'd be really weird to have her married to a dog.
I don't.
Since that seems to be the way that Demir classified.
I do not know what you are talking about.
That's something else, Faraday. That's not. No. No, Faraday.
She looks at the copy.
The Ravnikan cinematic universe. Sorry. But yeah, so she was in charge of the precognitions.
Precognitions,
really
yes.
need to get. Yes.
So
she was really good at. Do you know much about her personally? Arasa? Sorry.
No, I've never met her. I know she was in charge. I do not know how skilled she is precognitive magic, but I do know that she ran the department very efficiently while she was there.
Yeah, she's definitely good at that sort of thing. Okay.
We should probably stick to chit-chat for the next little bit.
Sorry.
Make an insight check for me, all of y'all.
That's 17?
Can Watcher assist?
Sure.
Or do his own. Watcher should do his own. Watcher got an 11.
Okay. Y'all would notice the longer.
Got a 15.
Okay, y'all would notice the longer y'all are at the table that Cha is seen specifically in a place and position where most of her is not immediately visible to Thotep.
Fair.
Can I do an insight on Thotep?
Sure.
18.
Okay, the silent Videlkin has said nothing to any of y'all. Their eyes glow a soft white, and they have been observing you all in detail, it seems.
They can whistle, though.
Let's see. You're an aviator. Hey, you can always do your read. Your special read as an aviator if you wanted to.
I mean, yeah, but he's not like an enemy. Or does it have to be an enemy?
I mean, if we had to just only figure out straight up enemies while working on detective cases, that would be very unuseful.
True.
I don't think he would do that in character.
Okay. I'll post what it is in case you want to use it at some other point.
Yeah.
I mean, it refreshes when you take a long rest. You're probably going to get a long rest soon.
Yeah.
I'll just post it so you have it for reference. I think at this point, mostly sticking to small talk and chatting since we're in the area. Probably staying like about an hour because we don't want to be up too late.
Yeah.
And you've been able to do that since level 1. Or 3.
Yeah. Yeah.
Daily.
Yeah. I guess as, we start to break up for the hour and head out to accommodations, I'm going to try to wait and pull Frizz back a second as Faradir and his guards go ahead.
Okay. Are y'all staying within the Crook and Noose, or are y'all waiting until you're outside?
We were told somewhere else to go, so I was going to wait.
Are you stopping Frizz in the Crook and Noose, or are you waiting until you're outside?
Outside, because I was saying, as we're going to the next.
Okay, so I just wanted to confirm, because you're technically going to the next the second you step up from that table. Cha waves you off, and she's like, I'll cover the tab.
I've got expense account for our stuff.
I'll cover the tab. I will put it down under my CI budget.
I suppose you did get an informed tip today.
Exactly.
Bye, Cha. Gives her a hug.
She gives a hug back and does the cheek kiss on each side.
But I'll wait till we're walking off to talk to Frizz, because it's easier to stop and pull back when people are in motion already.
Okay.
Hey Frizz, I've got a bit of an errand tomorrow. We might need to run by Orzhov area. If we're still trying to stay together to, not get targeted.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, yeah,
just
we can head there.
Right, take an early train or something. And when Frizz doesn't disagree, she'll kind of catch up with the rest of the group.
Alright, y'all didn't fall very far behind. Although Thotep was walking behind all of y'all, and has been making sure to do so every step of the way. So when y'all stop, they do stop as well.
Okay. I mean, seeing that they were stopping too, she'd probably just keep pace and then address the whole group that she has an errand.
Okay.
At that point. Because, if it's not going to be private, then it doesn't need to be private.
Well, I mean, it's observing but not intrusive.
Yeah, but at that point, she'd probably just catch back up and then say it in front of everyone.
That's fine. That's what
so
happened.
So you officially heard, Faradir.
Mm-hmm.
So, what was that inn's name? So do your guards have to stay in the room with you, Verdir?
Oh, my.
So we do not have to stay in the room if he does not want it, but we would recommend it for security purposes. We will sleep in shifts, either way.
Yeah. I'm used to sleeping in a dormitory, so I don't really care. Case snores, though, just to let you know.
Still haven't found it?
No. There were a lot of notes last session.
Yeah. It should be at this roughly in the same area where you wrote down the name of the bar.
Yeah, but I didn't find it there. I just remembered the bar.
Okay. Well, there were only a few different options, and she would have likely have directed y'all to the Oak Street Inn.
That sounds right.
Yeah, sure.
Which is annoyingly not on Oak Street.
That is the kind of thing that Ingrid would be very annoyed with.
But after a little navigation, you arrive at the Oak Street Inn. It is more of a bed and breakfast looking cottage place. A kind of it's hard to say elderly when it comes to elves because they retained their youth for a while, but a mature looking elvish woman with brown hair and slight shimmering autumn colors around her eyes is standing at the doorway as you approach. She's like, are you the party that had the room reserved by Captain Meriden?
You know, that would probably be right since she suggested this place.
Excellent. We held a meal for you, and your rooms are ready. And she holds the door open. Inside, it's more cottage than inn, with a large sitting room and around a fire, several plush chairs, stacks of books, and on either shelves as well as a selection of few put out on tables. The smell of rich roasted meat basted in gravy with various vegetables and tossed in herbs permeates the room. There's a table with a number of large, cold-looking mugs of alcohol on it. Ale for the most part, though there are a few small sipping cups. With platters of food stacked up on it. She smiles and steps out of the way. So, I am Demera, and I will be your hostess for the evening. If there is anything you need, please notify me. And then she just kind of walks off back deeper into the house, cottage, inn. You're not sure what to classify this place as.
I'm gonna set aside a little bit of meat for Kay and just kind of start eating.
Alright. It looks to be some sort of roasted fowl of some sort. It has like the chicken texture, though the meat is primarily dark, and it has a very sweetness to the savory, almost like a pork chicken hybrid.
I guess I'll get with her to check on the booking to see.
The innkeeper?
Yeah.
She is back in the kitchen with taking several pastries out of the oven as you enter. She's like, generally we do not have guests come back here. Is there something you needed?
Oh, I was just going to check what our billing was to take care of that.
She hands you a pastry. So, it has been arranged.
Okay. I apparently have a bit of an issue with walking into areas I'm not supposed to recently. Need to be more careful about that.
Well, enjoy the pastry. It's pumpkin and cinnamon.
Thank you. Goes back and shares the pastry with Watcher.
He like and just gets covered in pumpkin mash.
You'd prefer the meat, wouldn't you, Watcher? Okay. You want to stay out with the books a while?
He flitters off towards where the books are and just starts kind of pushing them together into a little nest.
Anchor joins near the book nest and starts grabbing a book to read, since she doesn't really need to eat.
Anything particular you're looking for to read?
Oh, just kind of a random grab.
Make me a d6 roll, please.
2.
You find yourself reading a copy of Transplanar Dimensionality Across Multiple Realities, as defined by, and the title continues like that for another 2 lines. It looks to be a treatise of some sort.
Looks like good evening reading. Watcher can help me with the text.
He eventually, gives up on the little, after he pushes all the stuff together into a whatchamacallit, oldish book pile of sorts. He flitters over and perches on your shoulder. Anyone else have anything they want to do? It's getting close to 2 at this point.
Yeah, pretty much after eating, Paradir is just going to go straight to bed.
Alright. Scotty, Halo, if you're saying anything, I'm not hearing it.
Hello? Yeah,
Oh,
can you
okay,
hear me
there
now?
we go. Now you are.
Anything?
Yeah, sorry. I saw your
Okay,
mouth
cool. Yeah,
moving,
no, I'm
but I
doing the
didn't
same
hear
thing.
anything. Okay, as y'all are finishing, there is a loud, hard knocking on the door. The innkeeper lady's like, they finally arrive. She goes to the door and opens it up. A hooded figure in a blue cloak steps in, looks around and pulls back the hood. Cha, smiling, is like, okay, so now that we are in a less, and she stops and looks at Thotep, leave. He blinks and then turns and goes up the stairs. Neath follows after him. Now that we are not being recorded and we are not in a public area, do you know how big of a hornet's nest you have kicked?
Didn't really have too much of a clue, no.
Okay. So apparently I entered in the information that the lawmaster may be an angel. I have been informed that the lawmaster investigation is closed, that the writ of investigation has been rescinded, and that bearing any other potentialities, the bounty will be revoked within 48 hours once the paperwork has been put through. This is from me entering in just that the lawmaster may be an angel into the official record.
Right. So...
Someone has been watching that file. And watching it regularly, because this all happened within an hour of me entering that information.
Well, we know they were entering fake cases already, and they were entering stuff that wasn't signed. So, definitely someone had access somewhere.
Someone with powerful access.
Not saying we will, but just assuming we did still go try to capture the angel.
If you are doing that, know that you will probably not have Azorius backup. Or even possibly Boros if help is called, and it is, if they are derailing the investigation this quickly, this forcefully, there is something going on.
So, how are angels usually apprehended? Because they go poof if they die, right?
Generally, they surrender themselves.
Oh.
There are very few instances of an angel being brought to justice involuntarily. They will if you will sometimes have to convince them, they will periodically have their wings bound, but it is extremely difficult to apprehend an angel. Mostly because they can fly. And, the expert combatants and the literally lifetimes of experience in war.
I can fly.
So if someone were silly enough to, manacles probably aren't going to cut it, right?
To fully immobilize one, you would need to manacle their hands, their legs, as well as find a way to bind their wings.
Cut off their wings?
That could do it.
Okay.
That sounds... Well, I mean, it could be a person that murdered up too. That could be a lot.
That's more than 100 people already in the files. That's
Yeah.
at least 500 people.
From the known files, it is not 500 people.
Was that in character and out loud?
No, I was saying out of character.
Okay, just checking.
Okay, I thought that was in character. That's why Ingrid was trying to shush you.
No. I'm not that dumb, okay?
Oh wow, we are already way past 1.
Yeah.
Let's take a short break. I'm going to need to get some Pepto in my
Thank you.
stomach anyway. Hey everyone, thanks for watching us for this episode of Ingrid and the Fairbears. We'll be picking up again in about maybe 15 minutes. Try and be back by 1:30 at the latest, my friends. Please stick around for a couple commercials to help fund our... I'm kidding. We get no money from this. We do not have enough people watching the commercials, and we don't have enough people subbing, but you know what? Maybe someday, it's a good habit to be in. Anyway, bye. I click the thing, and the thing goes to there. Yep, and then I mute and mute.
Hello.
And we are back.
Hello.
We are back, and my stomach is really hurting. I had curry. Well, not curry. I had Indian food yesterday, and it was way hotter than I asked them to make it. You know what? You order something mild, and you instead get Raging Inferno.
Yeah, they didn't listen so much.
Yeah. Also, the thing said that it was boneless chicken, and there were very many bones in that chicken. And
Came for the soup thing.
Yeah. Yeah, that was... I mean, if we weren't about to move cross states, I would say that's probably the last time we're using that Indian food place, but we're moving cross states, so it's definitely the last time we're using that Indian food place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fairdeer, can you hear me? Can either of y'all see or hear Fairdeer?
Yeah.
I see Fairdeer.
I can hear him. I can't see him. I'm going to go ahead and reload.
Hold on, wait. It could be Fairdeer because I can't see him either.
Didn't Halo
I
just
can't
say you
see
hear
and
him?
hear.
Oh,
I
you
can
can?
see and hear them, but
Okay,
it
so
might.
it's probably
I don't know. I
us.
can.
Okay. Okay, I can see and hear everyone. Except for the hear part.
Yay!
Can I hear people? Fairdeer, say, Mother, may I please?
Mother Maya, please.
Okay.
You just really love that he'll actually say the stuff.
Yes. Resuming play. Oak Street Inn, Cha. Where did we leave off?
They're trying to do nothing to see here. Everything is fine, and we have 38 hours to complete it. Otherwise, the bounty goes away.
Well, there's also the thing of if they're in the middle of doing a cover-up, there's probably some people that would be kind of mad if we're not covering up and arresting. It could politically be a bit bad for the agency, too. But, I mean, is that just going to continue if we don't? I don't like the idea of that just continuing.
I don't like it either.
Cha kind
I'm
of.
in the. Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead. No, you. I know what I was going to say.
I'm kind of firmly in the camp of really not liking it.
So, Cha kind of nods. It seems less than ideal. I would say if you have a solid lead or a plan, you should enact it quickly, because otherwise this is going to be shut down quickly.
Yeah. We maybe have a lead.
Okay, well,
Guess we should
do
get
not
some rest.
tell me anything about it, because
Yeah.
if you tell me about it, I have to enter it into the log, and then whoever is manipulating events here will know that you know it.
Yeah.
I've already had to enter in the log my source of information for the information that I entered today, which means they know your names and they know the name of your organization.
Well, I mean, potentially they were already after Fairdeer, so...
I do not need to know that. In fact, I will
But-
pretend that you did not tell me that any more than I already know.
I figured that's what you already knew from earlier.
I already
okay, no
knew
more
that.
info.
Yes, that is what I am saying. No more info.
You're completely mute, Halo.
So we shouldn't say that we're heading to the roll belt to look at all the Gruul stuff and all that.
That is definitely information that I should not know if that is what you are doing. And entering false information into the log is very illegal.
That's fair. Yeah. No. I mean, it doesn't necessarily go to the whole this whole thing. I'm just saying we could be heading there eventually.
Yeah, may very well be heading there. That is definitely a possibility I cannot rule out, because that is based on information I do not have.
I think we should probably just get some rest for tonight. What do y'all think?
Yeah, that sounds fair.
Excellent. I am not here. I am currently in bed. And y'all did not see me after we had our little meeting.
Exactly.
No, quite literally. This is not me. This is my bird.
Okay.
It's like, is there nothing else? Because this is actually quite exhausting.
No, I think we're good.
Excellent. There is a shimmer for a moment, and her form vanishes, and is replaced with her owl flapping in midair. Like, it whoos, and then kind of circles the area, slams into the door a few times before landing on the door handle, and then just flying out. Because you can cast spells through your familiar, a touch spell can be triggered touching your familiar to alter a form or illusion, and Voice of the Chainmaster allows you to use your voice through your familiar.
Ingrid goes and closes the door.
You can do some fucked up shit with warlocks.
So y'all should get some sleep.
Yeah, but I recommend we go straight back to the agency and work on this.
The woman that has been tending the place comes back and says, I mean, records have shown that you have checked in and will into the place and have had a nice meal, and will show that your rooms were used and checked out of in the morning at the normal time for us.
How am I listed?
Elrod, and Rona.
Okay.
Assuming that she is Ingrid, and that I mean, it's either you or Ferelden, so I'm assuming that she shrugs.
Yeah, that's fine.
Because the other two are listed as associated guards.
So y'all can either get some rest here tonight. I don't know if trains are still running at 2 a.m., so you should probably get some sleep.
Oh, the Is It tram system runs on
Yeah, I don't mind.
24/7.
Well, y'all could sleep on the tram.
Done
I
it
don't
before.
like splitting the party, but I kind of feel like since the agency's name and location is now entered, maybe we need to check on that.
Oh, that is simple enough. Join me downstairs.
Okay.
Alright, she leads to a door that looks like it would lead down to a root cellar. Opening the door reveals stairways down. She leads y'all downstairs to what appears to be a subtram station. She's all like, so we have not completed the full renovation just yet, but she opens one of the side passageways off of there, and leads to a short hallway. She touches a series of stones on the wall, and with a sort of ripple in air, energy lines the hallway, and it transitions into what looks like a familiar barracks on the second floor of the agency.
Huh.
It's done with a limited gate spell. My sister's been working very hard to research how they work with the help of a relatively well-known but unaffiliated researcher from the 4th Precinct.
This is very impressive.
Oh, well.
Is it Norris?
I believe that is his name. Welcome to the Order of the Second Sight. I am Demira Rosefury.
I see.
So, is it like one's an order and then one's an agency, like for different precincts?
It is what it needs to be when it is needed to be.
Are you aware of past cases involving the Order of the Second Sight?
I would hope so, as I have been a member for over 100 years.
I'm probably going to need to talk to, I'm assuming your relative, Fall as well, but can
My
you give
sister,
us any
yes.
details?
About what?
Any details on the original capture of Dominion of the Vault?
Dominion of the Volume's original capture was a interesting event. A Orzhov Lawbinder came to us with information that the Dominion of the Fallen may have been involved in several killings.
Do you mean Azorius Lawbinder?
Yes, sorry. An Azorius Lawbinder came to us with information that Dominion of the Fallen may be involved with several killings. Unable to directly prove that, we assisted with her apprehension on grounds of aggressive, dangerous behavior towards lawbreakers. She was placed in bindings and held for a number of years as per the decision of her guild.
So she never was convicted of any murder, just simply the dangerous activity.
Yes. She was placed on Boros reprimand and then placed in isolation.
Was this lawbringer by the name Hashi?
Yes, Hashi was the lawbinder. Due to the apprehension, she was promoted to low justice.
Could you give me some details on this person's demeanor?
Demeanor?
Yes.
Angry? A lot of yelling, some cursing. But that was under the surface, only once she was restrained. Everything prior to that, she was very calm, cool, and collected.
Sorry, is this Hashi or Dominion of the Fall?
Oh, Dominion. She is very quiet. She watches and I assume learns, and only acts when she is in control of a situation, as near as I remember from our limited interaction.
Really stupid question. She is not an angel, correct?
No, she is a human. She's worked closely with several Boros angels, though. I'm sorry, what? Everything okay?
I don't know. I forgot what I was going to say. I was saying something. I got interrupted and I don't remember.
Oh, I'm sorry. It didn't even light up. I didn't even notice it, like, it lit up on your screen. Forgive me. I feel bad now.
I'm trying to recall what it was. It's okay. Well, I guess, should we go back through to the agency, or did you have any other order of the second site questions?
You can rest here if you want. You can rest in your barracks. We have 3 facilities located for you. The home that you are aware of, this location here, and one in the 6th precinct, as it seems that those are the areas you travel to most frequently.
I see.
Of course, the ancillary locations are listed as Oak Street Inns.
I see. I mean, I'll be honest, I have a lot of questions about the history of the Order of the Second Sight and the Second Sight Agency, but right now I'm very tired.
I would assume so.
And, I suppose if there was some way of keeping an eye out and just waking us up if something unusual were to happen.
And just go to the agency?
Wait, this is a portal?
Yes. Like, she walks down the hallway, through the ripple in space, and then turns around and opens the door, closes it, turns around, and walks back through the ripple.
So we should probably go home and
We
get some
installed.
rest there?
Yes, we can't keep the gates open indefinitely, but we installed direct trans precinct. Is it transport between each of the locations, as well as the gates for immediate transport in the case of emergencies.
This is very, very cool.
No, my sister does a
yeah,
very good job.
Indeed. Yeah, I suppose we should probably walk through and get to the agency.
It's quite safe. We tested it on many small animals, and most survived. She's
Geronimo.
smiling.
Sounds legit to me.
Yeah.
And Ingrid and watch her go through.
All right. Have you ever dived into just really cold water, and for that first second when you hit there, your skin is just kind of tingly before you get used to being in the water? It feels like that for a second as you cross the threshold.
Okay. Oh, that was interesting.
You need to go get at least a few hours of sleep, fair dear.
Yeah. Then I need to talk to my wife. Anyways, yeah.
Oh, did our bodyguards come through? Just because
no.
they would. Oh.
They're still upstairs. No one went to get them.
Oh, yeah.
Do you want to go back and check about them?
I mean, one
Not
of them
really.
is recording everything you do and say.
Okay. I guess we're ditching the bodyguards.
Yeah.
Maybe
I'll
are we supposed
figure
to
it
go
out.
back in the morning to pick them up?
They can take the tram. Same as anyone.
Okay. Well. And I guess Frizz has gone through too, right?
Yeah, I went through.
Okay. So one long rest is had. It's 2 a.m. at this point when y'all bed down, so y'all would be up around 10 a.m.
I want to read Choso's letter.
All right. Choso's letter reads as following: Ingrid, by now you certainly have heard of the news of the takeover. We are dealing with some instability still, but please know that you are welcome to visit the guild hall at any time to meet your new guildmaster and receive your instructions as to your new functions within the swarm.
I need to see Flora again. It's only been a day!
Does it seem like there's an awful lot of changes in guildmasters all of a sudden?
Ingrid's gonna go open up her office door with her extra key.
All right.
With her.
I mean, usually if it's a company, that's a really bad sign, right?
Fog pours out from the edges of the door. As you would open it up, it does not open into the normal hallway. Instead, it opens into what looks like a opulent seating room. A number of chairs and tables reside within. A ghostly figure moves through and holds the door open for you as you push it inward. The faceless, more ripple in space than defined, extends a arm towards one of the tables, and with a slight shimmer, a number of tea cakes and mushroom wine and tea apparates on the table. The Shadow Mounts has been upgraded with a variation on by Valora of the Magnificent Mansion spell.
Hey. I'm going to go try to look for her first, unless
Are you bringing
servant.
anyone with you, or are you just going in on your own?
Oh, they're asleep. I just have Watcher.
Okay. Alright, so...
presumably they're asleep.
Okay,
Yeah.
so this is prior to 10 a.m. then, just checking.
Yeah.
And you find her fairly easily. She is within the space of the demiplane that has been augmented with the Magnificent Mansion spell, doing research in a what looks like a sort of conservatory, though you don't see any familiar stars, and instead of the black that you would normally see in a conservatory, it is a sort of liminal silvery seascape. She looks up from herself. Oh, Ingrid, my daughter, how are you doing? I see you have been made aware of the upgrades. With everything going on within the guild, I thought it would be prudent to ensure a secondary home of sorts.
Yeah, you were hard at work with the last I mean, it's only been... Has it only been a day?
Oh, time moves much more quickly in here.
Oh. I better not stay long then. I got a letter back from Choso.
She's moves over to one of the panels on the conservatory and alters a glyph on it. There, we are now synced back up with regular time.
I got a letter from Choso about and she'll just show her the letter.
She looks over and nods a little. Yes, I heard about the change in leadership. It is understandable, and it is a great news for our faction. Though being in charge puts much more focus on us.
Should I be worried about the duties assignments?
You are still on, to the best of my knowledge, officially operating under my Largis. So while they may ask you to participate in certain activities, do not feel obligated to do so because you are officially my apprentice and a shaman of the Golgari under my direction.
I'll keep that in mind. If I go there to see Choso's garden sometime soon, I might need to check in.
She frowns a little. Being invited to a Gorgon's garden is not always a good thing, my dear. Please take care of yourself and be safe.
I mean, I believe it's for viewing.
That can be interpreted in many different ways. To explain what happened, she has taken a demiplane spell and permanently enhanced it with the features of the Magnificent Mansion.
So this current bounty thing we're on may end up being bad politics rather than good politics.
All politics are bad, my dear.
There is that. Well, I'm going to get back. Oh, what did you mean about that explains his hair? It's been driving me crazy.
Who? What?
Rithins.
Oh, it's a weird color.
Because he doesn't have the traits his sister has.
I do not know his sister.
Oh, you viewed... Oh, well, it's okay.
I mean, I could view some things, but I did not see much in there. Many high-ranking Golgari like to be very selective about the information that revealed. Some even spending an inordinate amount of time crafting illusions that would conceal the truth of things.
Well, I'd probably better head out. The group will be very busy in the morning.
Excellent. Take care, stay safe, and it's good to see you again. She gives you a kiss on the forehead.
Okay, still's a hug like usual.
She smiles and hugs back.
And then steals a tea cake and eats it on the way out the door.
Okay. It's mint. As soon as you pass through the door, whatever is left of it kind of like poofs into a mist.
And she goes back giggling about mint mist and goes to work on a few more drawings for scrying stuff.
All right, 10 a.m. rolls around. Breakfast is... The smell of it is cooking from the main kitchen. The day is advanced one. I need to make a few quick rolls. Don't mind me. Y'all can go ahead and get started on your day while I do this. Or just sit there in silence while I roll dice.
Making notes.
I'm just trying to figure out what the hell I actually want to do.
I want to keep working on that thing I've been working on.
Sweet.
Make me an Arcana check to see your progress on that.
We've got a few time-sensitive things. Ingrid wants to go out for a bit.
27.
27? We'll count that as another success towards project and completion. You've had enough time since the last time you rolled to have made some progress working on it in your downtime.
I have a percentage, how close I'm to finishing it.
I would put you at about 30-ish, 40-ish percent.
Alright, well, let's make sure.
Close to midway. You haven't had any real hiccups, so you've been making good progress on it.
Cool.
So, she'll go try to catch y'all at breakfast. So, I guess we've got a day and a half if we want to try to catch the Lawmaster. Plus, I've maybe got that little errand.
Yeah.
I mean, if it's safe enough theoretically, I could go on the errand, but they do have all our names on the case report, so it might be better to stick together.
It's just one thing makes a little more sense to me.
Which thing?
Jante. If they killed me, she would have been killing a low justice. That would have been a little more high profile, would it not?
I mean, I guess if they knew the real name, but she wouldn't necessarily know it was the same one that went missing 3 years ago. But, I mean, potentially? I mean, no, they filed your report now,
Well, I mean, the name
and
is...
they're not saying you're a low justice.
Right.
I'm not sure the connection's been 100%
the name would still...
made.
Yeah, because the low justice Elrond Erona is officially in the paperwork as missing or presumed dead.
Yeah, I don't think that's a connection
that's
that's 100% been made as far as high profile.
Just out of curiosity, if they check the bodies for evidence, would they be like, "Oh shit, this is the low justice"? Would they do the equivalent of DNA profiling or something?
If it was you, yeah, would be a good possibility that if your body was discovered, they would discover oh shit, this is the guy that's been missing for 2 years.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is that would bring a lot of heat on them, right?
Yeah.
But since the person that they found wasn't you, and presumably you don't want to actually be found dead, that's probably not a good avenue.
No, but what if I was found alive? And I started saying, hey, I want this case.
You would need to prove that you are the same person, and then appeal to one, have your missing presumed dead status repealed, and then apply to have your status reinstated as a low justice.
Yeah, I know. That's the problem is that there's not enough time, I don't think. But I just wonder if that would be, in any sort of way, a way of making waves and getting us more time. But that's the only constructive thing I can think of, other than just trying to get with... I guess we need to question Cathal and see if there's something we can do as far as restraining Dominion and Fallen.
And
To be honest,
if Cathal is a bounty hunter, she would know if this is really good to keep pursuing. And I kind of need to go on to visit Orzhov this morning, so let's go find Cathal.
Cathal would be up in the main area conducting her morning briefing at this point. She closes the paperwork, looks around to the collective agents, and is like, dismissed, before she turns to the Elsa. You came in through the new gate. I trust the outward facing of the outpost is acceptable?
more than acceptable, it's exceptional.
Well,
It was a
You did very good work.
Report there.
well, happy to employ my siblings.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, your sister was very nice.
You should meet my brother.
Anyways,
With your other sister in the 6, so...
in any case,
She smiles a little.
So, we're having a bit of an issue with Azorius angel named Dominion of the Fallen. You may be
She frowns a
somewhat
little.
familiar with him.
She was very volatile? Yes?
Yep. Turns out she may be killing people more and carving claws into their body. Or Patsy. One way or
we
the other.
reported that the Lawmaster was an angel and we scryed on them. So it turns out we might have scryed on this particular angel. Is she more aggressive because she's not a Ravnican angel?
She blinks a few times. That does not make any sense to me.
Okay.
Have you talked to
more-
Devotion?
No.
No.
Should we? Is this something that he needs to be made aware of?
Well, I mean, they were involved back then.
That's a good thing to know. Because leads us to kind of the next point of how capture.
How did we capture her, or how do you capture her?
So I did a
Either.
stealing thing, Cathal, and we no longer have our writ part of the bounty.
That makes investigation difficult.
But we got a lot of information first. But, Chaw that helped turn us on to the whole angel registry thing did make a note in the case, and things are kind of getting slammed at different corners.
That is concerning. To answer your question, Faradir, I utilized a spell to bind her to the earth to keep her from fleeing.
Yep, that seems reasonable. And then what? The arresters just binded them and took them off.
Oh, no, she had to be beaten unconscious first.
Okay.
Do you think if, I directly scryed on the Lawmaster and saw her, and then some of the details fit, that we have enough to theoretically say we're bringing someone in for the case? What would make that better, apprehension-wise?
She blinks slowly. It's like, that was a very complicated statement.
Okay, so as far as getting charges to stick, if they're
Yes.
sticking,
Uh-huh.
just scrying on the Lawmaster and seeing her, is that sufficient?
Well, I mean, there are circles of truth.
Yeah. So if we apprehend her and we're like, this is her, and then they question her, that's still good?
It should be admissible. There may be some disagreement. Not everyone may believe you. But if you submit to the circle and you tell the truth, then, yeah,
Do circles of truth work on angels?
it works on anyone. As long as, they do not resist or the spell overcomes them.
So we probably should go talk to Devotion. I had maybe this little tiny errand first, but maybe we should talk to Devotion first. I don't know. I mean, I'm not really sure it's a good errand.
I mean, whatever you decide to do, I would recommend deciding quickly.
So do y'all want to go
Yes.
to Devotion today?
I don't want to, but it may be necessary.
Oh, I thought you said you liked him, Faradir. I remember we were just in the middle of a conversation and you were just like, all of a sudden, I like that guy.
I mean, let's go.
Alright, so I'm assuming y'all
Also,
are...
is my crossbow still activated?
No.
Are you
Sorry.
guys getting me?
New day.
Are you guys going to get me?
I thought you were there because we were like at breakfast.
I thought it was
Go see.
tinkering.
He's in the lab.
Okay.
Oh,
We'll,
I guess
yeah,
we'll
we'll
go
go to
get.
the lab. Fill
Yeah,
you
so
in.
as you guys like go in the lab, there's like lots of mechanical stuff everywhere. Currently, there are 2 looks like tank treads that I'm working on.
You know, I went to look for everyone at breakfast. You really should eat a normal breakfast, Frizz.
I grabbed something. It's fine. This is more important to me. at least.
Yeah. Speaking of important things, yeah, not to say your personal things aren't important, but we need to go see Devotion about DOF.
Oh yeah, we're doing that. Yeah, let's go do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so not only might he have some clues who's been interviewed recently, if we want to set a trap, apparently used to be with our suspect. So that won't be awkward at all to ask him about.
It'll be fine.
Yeah. Yeah, Cathal said he was with her. I wonder what interpretation of that phrase is correct.
Who was involved back then was what was said.
Involved with her, I think it was. Yeah.
We should bring Rave with us.
If he wants to go, I suppose that makes sense.
I mean, he's been so moody lately and drinking so much. I'm
Yeah,
worried
he's
about
actually drinking now. That's weird.
him. Maybe it'll cheer him up.
We may need an intervention. I am a little worried about the drinking thing.
Well, I mean, we'll see if he wants to go.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
part first.
Alright, so y'all hunting down Reeve then?
Yes.
You find him in a hallway adjacent to the kitchen. He is talking to who you assume to be because it looks like just a conglomeration of 14 different people's faces. He like stops talking as y'all approach. Like, hey guys, how y'all doing?
Oh, you sound like you're in a better mood today. We were actually coming to see if you wanted to come with us to talk to Devotion, because we thought that would cheer you up. But
Oh, sure, yeah. I wouldn't mind seeing the boss again. Let me just finish a couple things up real quick, and I'll meet you on the landing.
sounds good.
All right.
Hey, how's it going?
He's like, and then turns around and walks off.
Inger turns into one of the forms and spins on her heel and walks off.
All right, so
And then
yeah, Reeve will meet y'all in the landing about maybe 5 minutes later. He has a pair of scimitars on his belt. It's like, so, yes, we're going to go see the boss?
yeah,
Okay. What for?
Cathal thought it might be good to talk to him since he used to be involved with our suspect.
Huh.
The suspect's an angel.
Huh.
So, I mean, you're gonna have one hell of a resume after all this.
I don't know how to respond to any of this. We should go.
I figured, you've been feeling a little bit down. This trip is at least bound to be
I'm
entertaining.
fine. I don't get where y'all are getting this.
I'm getting it from her, so.
He shakes his head.
We've been worried about you. You've been drinking more than usual.
You've been drinking.
About being afraid for your life kind of thing. And,
A bloody angel was hunting me.
I
Well,
know, but usually you take this thing in more of a stride, so we've been worried about you.
There
we
is
did
like a
Cooper.
level of, hey, I'm in danger versus a level of, oh, something is actively trying to kill me.
I
But
don't
Until
understand.
she gets resummoned, Asaf is totally, not corporal right now, if that helps.
So she
Yeah.
could be following us around for all we know.
Well, two angels, actually.
Fair dear.
For different reasons.
Okay. Yeah. That's the thing.
That's why we're going to see your boss, is to keep that from happening.
Fair dear. I think maybe that was too much.
We should go? Let's go. I'm ready to go. Let's go.
Safety in numbers.
Is there? Not
Well,
if the
find
numbers
out.
are not on your side. Huh?
They're going to want to kill Fair Deer first, obviously.
I can completely believe that.
Yeah, but they may be hesitant because it turns out I'm actually a low justice.
Yeah.
Maybe
So,
They all
hey,
keep
if
going
you
after
ever,
me.
if you ever get a bad rap, talk to me.
wasn't
I
the
may know
best
some
time
people.
to say that you'd figured that out, especially since you don't actually remember being a low justice or doing any law stuff?
No. But I
At this point, Jack along to continue walking.
Yeah,
You've
I
got,
assume y'all are
3
making
blocks.
your way to the murder coliseum at this point.
Yeah.
As y'all descend the stairway,
Yeah.
you enter a brightly lit outside replica of the Orzhov district. The floor has been completely replaced with cobbled tile stone. The walls have been redecorated to resemble houses of affluence and positions of power. The hallway leads off into the distance into what was once the tunnel, but now it resembles the entryway to a church. Two
Interesting.
stained glass windows are painted onto the wall, bracketing the door, both of which just resemble piles of money, like gold coins, alms coins, and even platinum, just stacked up on top of each other.
I'm kind of glad a certain someone might not be here with us this trip.
Yeah.
Going through the doorway, you see it opens up into a large church-like interior room. Pews line either side of the aisleway that has been expanded wider, leading up to a central dais with just a giant coin centered on it. Bracketing the upper reaches of this dais are two crenulations, crenulated overhangs where one could see someone standing and giving proclamations to a crowd below. Past that and is the back out area where the performers prep. You manage to find Devotion talking to a maybe youngish looking man in very exaggerated robes. He's like, "No, you must put more pomp into it. Project your voice. Make it so that everyone can hear how important you are." He looks at
Speak from the diaphragm.
Ingrid! Ingrid, fair dear, I do not know you. Hi.
Oh, this is Riz. He's with the agency now.
He hold one
Hi.
hand extends a good distance between you, maybe a half a width in length. He's like, "Come here, come here, come here, come here. Come here."
Can we get a brief physical recap description of Devotion since Riz hasn't
Devotion is
officially met
a
him?
7-foot tall figure in what looks like a hybrid of a ringmaster's outfit and a tuxedo. His eyes are solid red with a huge shark-toothed grin. His red hair is tipped in black, and he just has a very lanky physiology to him. His fingers look almost like they have an extra joint to them, with a good 1/4-inch long nails on the tip of them painted black now. So, come on, introduce yourself.
Call me Frizz.
He kind of tilts his head, almost completely horizontally. Frizz. A pleasure to meet you. Hello. How can I help you all today? Have you come for tickets to the show?
Unfortunately, we have to work.
It's pity. Follies of the Orzhov Prince will be our most popular production.
Which prince?
Oh, it's just a character.
Okay, did you include his cum, though?
I don't know what you're talking about. Seriously, how can I help you then if you're not here for tickets? Do you perhaps need a favor?
Potentially.
There's been... Well, it's something that an apprehension could be mutually beneficial, as several rectors have been killed. We've been looking into the Lawmaster killings.
I see.
But...
Turns out Dominion of the Fallen may be involved.
Really fair there.
Was that out loud? That was out loud, right?
Yeah.
Y'all have never seen him look nonplussed before.
More delicately would have been better, Fairdear.
He turns to the figure
Look,
that he was talking to. You out now! And the man just runs.
Look, I respect the man's time, and I don't want to waste it with chit-chat.
Okay.
Pretty serious situation.
So,
Dagger glare.
we're dropping X's. I can't blame you. I did not expect it to be my ex, because my ex didn't break my ankle. But if you're
Look,
going
I have
after
a
Dami,
very-
you probably should know a few things.
Yes.
One, she is hilarious. A laugh riot. A show-stopping force the likes of which have been seen only in a few of our greatest performers. also, you are aware of the coin that I gave to Griggum, yes?
Yes.
Yes.
She had at our parting that coin's counterpart.
Wait, is he glowing?
Oh, right,
What's
yes,
your
you're so.
burden?
He is. Let's see here now. No, he's not glowing.
Oh, okay.
So. I
No, wait, no,
presumed he had
yes,
it.
he is. That's right, because that happened. Sorry,
Mhm.
I have had to do multiple rewrites. Yes, he has a slight grayish aura to him, like a dull lead or tin tone.
Oh. Well, if she had the counterpart of that coin, which coin do you have?
I. The coin I have does not matter. The coin I gave to our fair goblin was the Blackstone coin, the Voidstone coin.
Right. And the coin she has?
Ice, crystal,
Well,
glass. It's difficult to place the
The necromancy one?
He just stops and stares. And keeps staring.
My devotion
And
good
keeps
to see
staring.
you,
Yes.
See, this is why I feel like an open exchange of information between both of us is profitable.
Are you and her still
No.
on good terms?
No. Not at all. We have not talked in quite a while.
So it's not the kind of thing like if we did try to finish our bounty that would get you super mad, right?
I will hold no grudge against you for doing what you absolutely must or what you want to do. And he is talking directly
I
to
may
Ingrid.
need to reload. One second.
Ingrid's turning back at him. Oh no, we lost Raider.
He said to reload for a second.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, my thing just went to where everybody was making really loud, irritating noises.
It's like she
But
should.
that wasn't like an
She should've
insult, like
probably
everything
been
went
upset.
robot.
He was staring back, but she's kind of just grinning back.
So, when
yeah.
did you meet the man out of time?
Time.
Oh, her uncle, yeah.
Sure.
Huh?
What?
Yeah, that's her great uncle. Something like that, right? Right, Bolt?
Certainly. Who?
Would you like an exchange of information?
It depends on the valuable of the information. Although I am not Demir, I have played one. And played with one.
I expect you have.
I mean, I think it's funny.
Thank you.
How about I give you quite a bit of information on time and what I know about this thing about the coins. I just want to know what coin you have, what it does, for curiosity's sake.
He frowns and reaches into the inner pocket, drawing out what looks like a tin coin. It looks almost like, one of those coins that you see painted gold for children to play with, but with the paint stripped off. There's dents and pits along it. And let me just check. The side he is showing you would be... Okay, yeah. On the side that he's showing towards you is just 3 concentric circles interlocking over each other. He kind of rolls the coin across his finger and then tucks it back into his
jacket.
I don't remember that matching what.
It doesn't match what you saw previously, no.
Interesting. Well, if that is one of the coins that belongs to the man the man lost in time,
Lost?
beware of heading to New Prague. Lost in time, that is.
That is a mighty large assumption.
It is an assumption, but you know what that makes me then.
I certainly know what I am.
So, New Prague, there is a doorway that has been opened several times, and anyone who has one of the coins or something else that is similar to that, including myself, has been entering this door without control of their self, and have been relaying all information
I know
that they have had in the company.
all about the otherworld doors.
You know about the otherworld doors, then.
Well, I mean,
Doors.
And
plural.
that
brought you Opal, right?
Doors. Plural.
Who?
He brought you Opal, right?
Oh, yes. Yes, the Candyman did. Though, I think you were making some assumptions about who the man out of time is. But, that'll just make it all the funnier later.
I'm sure. But so Dominion of the Fallen.
Yes, Dominion of the Fallen, sweet sister angel, angry as hell,
Yeah.
righteous bitch.
So why was she funny?
'Cause it's hilarious when she gets angry.
I mean,
I
she
mean,
was
no
a
doubt.
person breaking the law all the time. It does have a certain sense of irony.
Isn't it? I mean, you must call the weak every now and then. Otherwise, the rot sets in at the root, and then the tree starts to fall. And while a tree can grow and rot, it does not necessarily survive and rot.
Don't you have like an entire forest from rot?
That's different, I think.
Oh.
I mean, you can't take the specific and tie it to an analogy.
Analogy, yes.
So, anyways, what happened last time you guys captured her? Like, did you convince her, or?
Huh. I'm not sure I remember.
Well, I know that feeling.
I mean, that's... I mean, I could have been there. Maybe. Or maybe not.
No, but the really interesting question is that like your cover name in the Zaldi book 3?
I'm sorry, who?
She gets out her little Zaldi book series. Did you get written in here? And she points to the page.
I am not sure. He looks genuinely confused.
I was just wondering because they had a ringmaster and with the name of Devoted and
I've only been a ringmaster for the past 50 years.
Oh, probably someone else then. And she puts the books away.
I mean...
Don't worry, they turned me into a dog, so...
I do not know... I mean... that gives me an idea. Hey! Emmy! Start measuring Jakul! We need a dog costume! Sorry. Just
making sure things keep rolling along. You can't just put one production on, you have to start getting ready for the next one.
Understood.
So you've got like the play lunch and then like really close to the games. Is that, I guess you've got to keep things going in the meantime, right?
Oh yes, it's very important to distract people, otherwise they know what's going on. And then people start asking questions about when things happened and why, and who was there and who will be there the next time they happen, and how many times they've happened before.
Well, if we're on asking questions, can I ask a question about you?
Me? What is to know about me? I am simply a ringmaster, an entertainer of the masses, and a master of illusion and distraction.
Yeah, can I ask someone else something about you? Would you be upset about that?
I don't see how I would possibly know.
Alright, cool. I'm gonna open my whisper jar. What do you know about Devotion of the Fallen?
Make your insight check.
This one is a history check to play a recording back of that subject.
Okay.
And that will be... What is that? My modifier? 18 and I have to beat a 15.
What did you roll?
18.
18? Okay, what is the information this one gets? I don't have them all memorized.
Okay, so... Second rank, my whisper jar comes on blah blah blah. As a bonus action, you can ask the jar for information on a specific subject and make a DC 15 into history check. On a success, the jar plays back a recording of the subject, made somewhere, sometime by another loremonger, and it can't be used until the next on.
Okay, so what you hear is a cacophony of screaming. The sound of wet liquid splashing over hard substances. The sickly flat sound of flesh hitting stone, and a disturbing sound of metal grating across exposed bone. In the background, you hear a continuous cackling. Just increasing in volume and intensity the entire time until it completely overshadows the other sounds.
Interesting. On top of that, can I also do the other thing where I get to know like the creature's name, 3 aliases, primary profession, and skill proficiencies?
Sure thing.
Skill proficiencies, not skill proficiencies. Okay.
Now,
Go
another
ahead.
question is Fair you're going to use his insight too?
By the way, y'all all heard that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not hiding it. I asked politely if he would be upset about it, and he
He's
said
just
no.
grinning.
So yeah, that'll be a 16, which beats 15.
15. All right. What are you wanting to find out?
The name, 3 aliases, profession, which kind of obvious. I just want to know the skill proficiencies too.
Okay. Name. Devotion of the Fallen. Let's see here. Up to 3 of the aliases.
Yes.
Agent of the Devoted. Avatar of the Black. And it would be... The third one would be Ringmaster of the Fallen Stars. Let's see.
Okay.
That's his name, his aliases, and you said his proficiencies?
Yep, skill proficiencies.
Okay, he is proficient in... Let me actually pull up his sheet instead of just his character notes.
I'm assuming it's performance, deception, acrobatics,
Insight.
Hold on.
persuasion,
Give me a
insight.
second.
Okay, that's just a hypothetical guess.
Okay, he has proficiency in acrobatics, athletics, deception, insight, intimidation, medicine, performance, persuasion, sleight of hand, and stealth.
Okay, so
Huh, medicine. That's interesting.
yeah. No, that makes a lot of sense. You need to know which vital organs to take off without them person dying. And yeah, that makes sense. All right, I'm done with that. Thank you for being courteous.
He's just grinning. He's like, certainly.
When it's worth, I hope you stay in the area.
Oh, I have no intention of going anywhere.
So why does this look like the bug? I forgot Real's last name.
Corvino.
Corvino Chantry.
Oh, just coincidence.
I mean, do you really have to ask that after that speech?
What speech? So, do y'all want tickets? Special friend price? A pound of flesh or 5 silver zip?
When is the next show?
Oh, our very first production will be in 3 days.
I'll probably make that.
He reaches into his pocket
I need
and
some
draws
time off.
out 3 tickets with the tip of his finger. Will you be paying now or later?
Sure.
So does the pound of flesh have to be like on some, like, you know, just a pound of flesh, like separate? Can it be like, is it like paying with someone's body? Like, is this a sex thing?
I will leave that for you to figure out.
Just wondering.
I am too.
Well,
I'll pay the 5 silver.
my healing only works if I can put the part back on. So no, I don't even have that yet, actually. Never mind.
He holds out his hand for the coin. If you're paying, you can pay now or upon arrival.
I'll pay now.
Do I need a knife?
I'll do the 5 silver also.
He just holds out one very
Paying the
large
5
hand.
silver.
Well, then, I hope you enjoyed the show.
What about Reeve?
Y'all haven't seen him since y'all arrived here.
He kind of always does his own thing when we check in.
Okay, we shouldn't get him a ticket?
Oh,
Doesn't he get
Rakdos
in-
always show up free.
Oh, okay.
Consider it a service industry bonus.
Just, trying to take care of our employees.
Good to know.
Of course.
Is there anything else, my pretties? Perhaps some favor or task that you need done?
I have a feeling after us staying at the bathhouse, we're probably a bit overcharged in that category already.
He kind of crouches down and, moves over next to you or something. That is something I wanted to talk to you about, too. I have done so very much for you all. If you do happen to have an encounter with my dear Dommy, sweet little feathered angel dust, bring me her coin.
Can definitely be done.
That's fair.
It's a pretty glass one. I think it's slightly pouty.
Well,
I haven't
do
even seen
you
it yet.
want it?
They're really dangerous. I don't know.
Oh, sweet little Ingrid. He kind of scratches a finger under your chin. If you're scared, I know a few people who will protect you.
We're a few people right here.
Safe.
We can talk later about the coin if we end up getting it. That's very, very presumptuous to talk about where it goes now, right?
Well, I'm sure it'll end up in my hands one way or another.
Yeah, you seem to collect a lot of these
Yes,
coins.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
they're very useful.
So is that like a hobby of yours?
Sure.
I mean, we all have to have our own interests, right?
Oh,
Go insane otherwise.
He just stops, tilts his head. Yes.
May I ask you one more question?
I hope you will. I am enjoying
Can we do anything
this.
for you? Because we've been asking you a lot. Is there anything you would like from us other than the coin?
I will let you know. I may have a
Well, I
thing or two
appreciate
that
that.
you could do for me. That is certainly for sure, my fine Izzity friend.
Well, thank you.
Why'd you change your voice?
Oh, I do it all the time. It's just, one must practice.
I mean, it just...
Practice, practice, practice. That's how you get good. Sew the net, throw it in the water, pull it out, sew it out again. So, I hear y'all have an investigation going on into the Lawmaster. I think that's what we were talking about a few seconds ago, right? And
Yeah.
you've been kind of asking around about a couple other places too, right?
About the Lawmaster?
No. Someone said something to an Azorius about the Midnight Falls.
Anger just points at Faraday.
I was under a zone of truth. And... yeah.
Well, let me tell you this. It is a absolutely beautiful place for a picnic. You should take the man out of time there sometime.
The skull? That may be a little difficult.
I guess, should we do an insight to see if we can tell what he's implying on the man out of time or no?
If you want, that's entirely up to you.
I will go ahead and roll one. I only have a +2. It's not one of my skills. I got a 12.
He is...
Can I also?
Sure, go ahead.
No, why
That
not?
is a 25, or no, 22. Oh, not the 25, 22.
19.
19. Ingrid, you're a little distracted by the finger stroking your chin still.
And his particular voice cadence reminding me of someone else's.
Yeah. Everyone else, you notice that he is looking at Feraldin.
Yeah. Also, as of note, Feralda never introduced himself as Izzet, right?
No.
Okay.
Well, he was working as Izzet on a case to go to the lab, working with an Izzet.
He never introduced himself as a Izzet to
Yeah.
devotion.
Okay.
No.
Devotion
also
knew
wearing-
that he was an Izzet. Is what
But
I'm
hear me
thinking.
out. Okay, hear me out. I am wearing blue and red.
Yeah, that's
I have a
He
cane
probably
made of
looked pretty
Mizium
damn
and gloves
Izzet.
made of Mizium. And yeah, I'm just saying.
I mean, it's
I'm
about as
just
much
saying.
of a giveaway as all the
Yeah,
dead
that's
bird
fair.
wings on Ingrid's cloak, now that she's wearing it right side out.
Yeah.
I just have tentacles.
Yeah, y'all
Like,
are
I'm
Covert
just
Squad
saying.
Alpha.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Is
yeah.
there
Okay,
anything else?
I think we're done here.
Please, no. I mean, do not feel need to curtail yourself. You're welcome to ask anything that you want.
I'm sure you and Frizz will have a very interesting correspondence.
Well, how about this? Because we are running a little short on time, because of the damn Azorius, like always. Take a rain check on this. Let's have a chat after we see the performance.
Ah. It'll be to die for.
Oh, I do believe it will.
Did we get tickets to the performance or the games?
The performance. The
Performance.
games are
Okay.
free for anyone to observe. But I can get you special seating. Right up close to the action.
Ah, yes. The splatter zone.
I mean, I am aquatic.
Would you like? I can
Let's talk about
procure.
that after the performance.
Ingrid, say hello to my brothers for me when you see them. Now, off you go. And he kind of like shoos.
And Ingrid's heading out.
Thank you for the time.
As you leave in the pews in the church area, there is a pink scaled lizard folk sewing what looks like a giant dog costume. Like giant, like
Does it look like Kay?
ogre size. It does
Ah.
not look like Kay.
Oh, okay. Well, interesting. Once we get like away a bit from where, you know, and any of them can hear us. So, Rail has a clone, right? Probably. Hopefully. I fully
are
expect Rail to get
we
killed.
but still there, or like out of the building away?
Out of the building away, like.
Okay. That's probably
So hear
for
me
the
out.
best.
Hear me out. So, if I was to make a performance and I was in the Rakdos, here's what I would do. I would run the whole thing, you know, like as the whole story happened, yada yada, with the angel, and then either invite the man who has done all of this and started this whole thing to be a part of it, or to give him a special surprise ending at the end with a twist where the Rakdos comes on top and attacks
Did
and
Reeve follow
wins.
us back out?
No.
That would be my guess.
I think on the way out, like if we don't see Reeve on the way out, she would want to check with Emmy to be like, can you let him know we went back?
Oh, he already left.
Okay.
Yeah, boss had a job for him. No worries. Top secret hush hush. And I don't know why I was
Will it be
doing
funny?
Emmy as a... Oh, everything is funny, yes.
Yeah. I don't know what
That is my
personality
guess.
I've got went into.
So devotion's messing up your personality.
Apparently.
Devotion fucks everyone's personality.
I like to think Faraday does kind of have a very like dark humor side to him. Actually, but I'm also
lot better
probably
than I
running
thought I
low on
could've.
coffee.
Alright, y'all got about 9
Okay,
minutes.
so
And everyone's talking over each other. Let's go with Zizova first.
Oh, I was just asking what Frizz had said right then because it cut off.
Okay, Frizz, what did you say?
That went a lot. That went a lot better than it could have.
Alright, Fairdeer, what did you say?
over.
All right.
Role play.
Fair dear, you don't if you think there might be some kind of exchange of information, or it might benefit both people, you don't say yes to the favor question. I don't even know if my redirecting helped any after that. You don't say yes if you've got something that's potentially useful with them too. Like, I don't know, maybe Rakdos not being killed by a murderer.
You think he cares about that?
Maybe so close
Probably
to the games. And maybe when they're only the local citizens, which is mostly his group.
You are aware that the games, they don't fake the death, right?
It's okay.
Yes,
but they
you
do
want to
bring
have
back the bodies.
a bigger number
eventually.
of your chosen people, right? You don't want those people getting murdered beforehand.
Yeah, so I think we need to go direct the conversation towards the whole, we have to deal with an angel with a coin, and we don't know where that coin is located, and therefore what means to do to extract it.
I mean, theoretically, we have a coin. Rail's already marked by coins, even though he doesn't have one. We could talk to him about if he wants a coin.
Well, how about this? I have a brilliant idea to
immediate
find
concern
her.
is...
I have an amazing idea how to find her. Okay? Now, let's go wait by the... What is it? Sunhome? That's the Boros place?
Yep.
We wait outside of there, okay? And then, when the angels go out to patrol, you just follow the one that's glowing.
Oh. You were talking... Wait, glowing?
Okay, so yeah. I
right?
can see people who I can see the people who have coins, by the way. It's the key,
Also,
don't worry about it.
We know her patrol route. We know
her patrol route. Down. We know if it's glowing. Yeah. We can easily go and set up for the attack. But also, I do have an important fact I think I do need to mention that might be very, very important later.
Okay.
Devotion was an agent. When I asked about the Whisper Jar, I am only getting talked to by another loremonger. No other loremonger was mentioned in the sound but Devotion as the cackling.
I mean, theoretically, anyone could have recorded it.
True. But I do believe that we can't rule out that Devotion used to be in the second side agency.
Verdir did just assume that he was part of the group that did the arresting, and Devotion didn't necessarily 100% deny it before.
No. And
wait,
hold
on. You think he was an agent of the second side agency?
I think he was.
Well, I mean, you're the one that said that he helped capture Dominion to his face.
Roll history
and
for me.
Me?
Yeah, or any of y'all, really.
Oh, wow, that's a good roll. It's a nat 20, but any modifier
21.
26.
Cool.
5. I am rolling horrible today, even digitally.
All right, Verdir, you were present when Cathal referred to Devotion as it.
I do remember that, naturally, though.
Yes.
Yeah.
Continue. Just thought something I would add in.
Well, that could be interesting, as in that could imply that Devotion is not necessarily.
Well, that would be something if Verdir wanted to bring it up. That way, you.
Yeah.
Wait a second. He's been a ringmaster for how long?
50 years.
Only 50 years, but look, his title? Oh, wait.
And how
was it played
long
out
ago was it before...
Y'all are talking over each other again. Ingrid, what was your thing?
How long ago was it that DO...
Okay, I think Verdir is trying to ask how long ago it was revealed that... Hello?
I can hear you. I'm waiting for
Hello?
stop talking because mine connects to more than one thing. So
Okay, Faradir, ask your question, please.
How long ago was it that DOF was captured?
It's been
53 years.
Yeah, 53 years.
It's been for 50 years.
Okay.
Okay, Ingrid, your thing.
Was the other loremonger stuff like aliases out loud from the Whisper Jar
Yes.
too? Okay, so the agent of the devoted, what I thought was an alias in the Zaldi book from 500 years ago was a ringmaster named Devoted. I thought that was interesting.
So, if devotion, out of character because I don't know
Devotion is part of the agency. We can just ask.
Well, yeah, but also I don't know this information because I was not told it about the it thing. That could be significant because of the sounds that were made, combined with the names that I was given. What if devotion isn't necessarily devotion the person, and it's devotion the physical manifestation of all of these feelings and bad stuff?
You were given other aliases as well.
Yes. One of them was crap, I did not write them down because
Okay, so
I
the
had my paper.
Avatar of the Black. We
Yeah.
know that the Planeswalker with the blackest heart, but then Avatar of the Black, there's also Aaron is the black, and that's kind of disturbing. So I'm hoping it has to do with maybe Rybald and the Planeswalker and not with Aaron.
Yes. Out of character too, with like lore, like the whole lore of D&D and like magic. Planeswalkers can summon creatures and use their like magic to create these creatures that are not necessarily actual creatures, but they are manifestations. Which could be part of that, because magic is always weird and can be changed. That could be something we could try to figure out if devotion is actually less of like, either a person or physical manifestation of feelings, or avatar, like a creature that was made that
We need to get back in
went
character for
silent.
part of this, because there's things that can be said if it's a player, and there's things that can be said if it's in character. And I
Yes.
don't want to mix those up too much.
Fair.
So, what of that would Farrell have made the connection for in character?
None of it because I don't know it's they. I just know that it's a person.
If you recently remembered and you want to bring it up, Fair Dear, Ingrid's known it for months, so she wouldn't just bring it up out of thin air.
Would some part about
Yeah,
discussing
probably,
this have instigated her
Paul-
to mention it?
Yeah. I said like the stuff about like you think he's an agent of the Second Side Agency. That was totally in character. But yeah, I would mention that like Cathal mentioned him being referred to him as it.
Yeah.
Okay,
He definitely isn't like
then
bone. Like, did you remember when Grigum's stick hit him and his flesh just warped out of the way? And then do you remember when we were in that 20-foot pit? And like he's only 7.5 feet tall plus his arm. If he just like walked backwards away from us and then reached the top of the pit and pulled up. I mean, totally not human. Definitely couldn't use whole person if we ever. We don't want to fight him again, right? Never.
yeah. So there is flesh augmentating magic that is common in the Rakdos. I mean, I believe that the Rixmadi use it a lot.
Yes.
And that is something that happens. But if it's an it, that kind of rules out a lot of that because
Oh,
it
he definitely
means it's
has
definitely not
player
humanoid. Yeah, so he may not be from here. He may not even be
Oh, he's not from here. He's
real
from the
creature.
Fallen. He's not from Ravnica.
Well, yeah, fallen. Yeah.
Fair, why are you raising your hand up and waiting?
I'd like to think that he
How does
raises his
Cathal
tentacle
refer to
too.
as Om?
I'm sorry,
Huh?
what?
How does Cathal refer to Om?
I've heard Cathal refer to as and Oma once, and I don't know. It was kind of weird.
Yeah, but what pronouns?
I don't know.
Generally, they, them.
Okay. Not it.
Y'all don't
Do you
talk
think
What's
Devotion's
the
a shapeshifter?
fallen- I don't think devotion's a shapeshifter. I think it's a physical manifestation of either pain and energy and just the devotion that, like the actual word, not like the name, of all of these like nasty feelings put into an avatar. And the fallen may not necessarily be from another plane. It could be another like pocket of magic that overwraps the world. That could also be something that we cannot necessarily rule out. I mean, we don't know much about the fallen, but it could be just where things are pulled from. I mean, clearly that sound was not normal. That was not something that can be happened, in a quick period like that.
Ingrid, he said
That
brothers.
seems like it's something that just like is being created.
Couldn't hear you.
Oh, sorry. Ingrid, he said brothers.
I know.
It could just be a lot of things. For now, I think my best bet is that devotion isn't a creature, but more of a physical manifestation of a symbolic pain.
I don't like that he used Aaron's voice.
And that's another thing that is mentioned, the voice changing thing that is easily explained by the flesh augmentation and changing. I mean,
I mean, he
changes
still
all of
other
the
voices and
internal
uses
things.
them all the time. I didn't like him using Aaron's voice.
Which is fair.
I guess. But in any case. Okay, so kind of getting back on topic, we have to
Oh, that was out loud.
Basically-
Saying brothers.
confront DOF.
Yeah,
So we probably
that's what we're doing.
need to
We're
confront DOF, restrain her, and take the coin.
Wait, I have another idea. Really bad.
Oh joy.
What's that spell that casts things in the sky, like makes the cloud turn into words?
Skywrite. It's a ritual.
Skywrite. Yeah. So, what if we just use Skywrite and say something like, "Devotion misses you," and we would bring.
No!
She would go to Devotion. We'd bring the coin to him, like we said, or to it, and that would solve both our problems.
We should just keep calling him for now, unless,
Him.
other people, because if Cathal was just upset and said it and didn't necessarily mean it, we don't want to mess up his disguise.
Make a history check
Sure.
for me, Ingrid.
16.
While he was talking, you may have missed it, but he said, "Sweet sister angel." Okay.
Yeah. Ew, that's some Alabama stuff.
I don't think angels actually reproduce sexually, correct?
Probably not, but I mean, still, they were in a relationship, and he called her sister.
I mean, granted, that doesn't have to be, but
I
or
mean,
just maybe another one of the fallen.
yeah, it could be like a Brotherhood of the Fallen kind of thing. It might not be literal.
Yeah,
So,
I mean, the
hear
only
me out.
Fallen we know of. Well, okay.
So let's say like the whole thing we're right about devotion being the embodiment of pain and like that sort of stuff.
Sure.
She clearly identifies rage as an emotion. Can we connect the fallen to emotions? Do the ones we know of? Can each one kind of like fit a certain mood?
No?
No. Listen, I'm still kind of new to this,
That's
but
fine.
I mean,
it's not a bad idea. I just don't think it's consistent with our knowledge.
I mean, unless
The
It's
thing
I'm
is,
not a
it's
bad
not always-
question. Just-
unless I'm wrong, the only other fallen y'all are currently aware of is Tears.
That's why Ingrid's
Oh
saying
yeah,
that.
we don't know Ohm is a phone.
Yeah.
yeah,
Do
and
we?
we don't
Yeah,
know about
that
the other one
secret
too.
hideout.
And we don't know about
Yeah.
Blade.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Y'all did hear him say brothers to Ingrid, which indicates plurality and suggests that Ingrid knows and is in regular contact with them.
Yeah.
But yes, y'all know Tears of the Fallen. And y'all have a pretty good read on his personality.
Yes.
What is that exactly again?
He seems to be pretty content to act as a caretaker for
The
Ingrid, Valora, and
Shadow
the people
Man's,
at
but
the...
like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
At
So
the
if
actual
that
man.
is,
I mean, obviously she knows him better than I do, but
yeah.
Ingrid also knows his history.
Right.
I mean, if something was pulled out of someone, maybe that thing could have been originally, the emotion. I mean, if you had to go on the track of there being emotions and stuff, like, it wouldn't have to be now, right?
Right.
I mean, it could be just not there anymore.
I mean, the whole emotion thing is at conception, not necessarily. Like, they're still a complex being.
Yeah,
once
no,
the
no, I'm not saying they're
manifestation
not
happens,
complex.
correct?
Yeah, no, that
Right.
definitely is true.
I mean, we only know one scientist that was, actually, like, pulling things out of people from other badness things.
Oh
Okay,
yeah,
so we
shit,
can
I
talk
should
to them?
probably look into that, shouldn't I?
That would be hard to do. He went just missing from the Simic like 7-8 months ago now. And then
Oh.
there were traces
Maybe
of his
they turned him into part of
but
our
then
Guardian
that,
project.
was kind of kablooey's.
Ah, well, maybe he's an Azorius member now, if they just traded places.
Remember that many of the creatures that were in the underground tanks were being infused with emotion.
Yeah.
I
Still
mean,
fairly
he
certain
was
that
known
the
for
emotion
taking
thing could be
emotion
right.
out, so it's kind of weird that he was working on experiments to put emotion in.
Well, where did he get the emotion from?
Well, those tanks were giving emotions.
Right.
Or
But I'm
was it
saying, what if he
taking
was
from?
sucking out the emotion so that he could inject the emotion into
Does it work
the
like
thing?
that?
Feld,
You're Simic. Does it work like that?
Feld,
I mean,
make an Arcana check for me.
I mean, matter cannot be created nor destroyed, only transferred. Okay.
25?
That would be a...
He said
23.
barrel. That's barrel.
Since you have been
Oh, I'm sorry.
working
I heard
with
fair
them,
here.
the devices that they were describing that they found feeding emotions into those tanks sound very similar to the devices you have been finding within constructs.
He actually saw the broken tubes and stuff.
Yeah, you've seen the broken
Because he went-
tubes, and you've
Yeah.
seen the broken orbs. They look a lot like the containment crystals, only with like a outer protective layer around them.
Okay. I think I have a solid idea. What is the place? Agrium. Does that ring a bell to either of you?
No.
You-
Or should I make
Okay,
it?
so
You would recognize it as the Ghost Quarter.
Okay.
the Ghost Quarter. Yeah. That place doesn't exist anymore, unless it does it? Okay, so
That's the mystery.
yeah. So out of character, in Magic history, it doesn't really exist anymore. But anyway, in character. So the world kind of had a change in the past, and this whole ghostly plane kind of shifted and disappeared. It involved lots of things. Think Old Boros guild leader Argus Kos and Zodek, like I said, and Svogthir, and lots of things trying to control it, yada yada. Anyway, there's not a connection to it anymore. It's solid, and it's kind of hard to do. But it is known that ghosts went there. And when a spirit passes on here, if they're not indentured, they go somewhere that we don't know. Well, it is solid fact that the constructs that we have encountered, and that I've seen being made before, use spirits to control them, and they use them as power sources. And that's how they kind of work. Excuse me. That's how they kind of work. That's how the machine is working, and there's lots of similar tubes. The tubes that we saw down the lab are similar to those in nature. So it can be reasonably said that the emotions are being drained from spirits or souls. Not sure how they got those souls. Could be a multitude of different things. But those souls are giving off the emotions, which are feeding into those creatures, apparently. But on the other hand, this other whole thing with the whole fallen thing, the fallen could
Can we pause
definitely
before we
relate to
go
the.
into a new thing? It's like, since I actually saw the tanks live, should I do an Arcana check to see if
Yeah,
that
sure.
sounds anywhere kind of close? 22, as far as emotions drained from spirits kind of stuff.
You're not 100% sure on if there was an elemental spirit or a person spirit contained within those orbs, but what he is saying sounds like a reasonable deduction off of what you observed.
Okay.
We'll continue with my tangent. So let's look at the name Fallen. I think it's a lot more obvious than we're thinking of. These may be the fallen people, the spirits, etc. And these fallen could be like the manifestation of these emotions from the spirits. Now, I could be completely wrong, but if anything dictates with like what that scientist was doing with those creatures and the way that the constructs work, even though they may be pulling from different spirits, that could still resonate heavily with these fallen creatures that are not from here, that are taking forms and shapes that are representative of the world. Even though they are not from here, they definitely fit in. And that they kind of symbolize these, or they think they embody these emotions that symbolize what they are from. I mean, devotion, it's pain, it's just the devotion to the Rakdos. It's everything makes sense for him to be where he is.
Let's try to
Be just
spread
all
out
over
Dr.
feeling.
Carnout. I have a picture already.
Well, let's do that.
Back
If
at
she
the-
also, let's go there. Let's do that thing real quick then. We have time. Not a lot of time, but we do have time. Boros definitely can infuse rage and righteous passion and all that, and those could be easily, represented by the spirits who have died in battle or having unfulfilled rage and passion.
Part of our magic
This is,
system built in?
Do what?
Like part of our magic system already built in? Like they've been part of it?
Kind of.
You would know that Tears, as a member of the Golgari, and as a caretaker to Valora, is very much a person who has taken responsibility and cares for others. So, what's the difficulty
Well-
check for resisting your scrying? And what is the penalty you're imposing?
1 sec. Let me look that up because okay. So we get back to the agency.
Mhm.
We go somewhere like a side room, like a library.
I assumed y'all were having this conversation while walking there. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
My scrying is a wisdom 17, but I have met the target.
Mhm.
So that's neither a plus or a minus. And I have a likeness or picture, so that's a -2 to them. We have some notes from the lab. Can we look through Faradir's notes real quick that he grabbed and see if any of them look like they're signed by Dr. Cardot? Because he had note scraps.
Yeah. Faradir, make a percentile roll for me.
77.
77. You have a patient transfer order signed by a Dr. Cardot.
Okay, so we have possession or garment then, theoretically. Would that be a
Maybe.
-4 or is that... I'll put both the picture and the signature as a possible possession in. So either -2 or -4 on his check.
Well, that is a 9. So, as you
Okay.
cast the ritual, your vision goes soft. You see a dark, long hallway. Bodies lie on slabs in a reclined position, several of which have a dome of some sort over them. In the distance, dark, black energy radiates from deep wells. You see Cardot looking emaciated, thin, like he hasn't eaten in a long time, a wild look in his eyes as he walks from slab to slab, examining each of the bodies. Following behind him, a tall, gaunt figure cloaked in black robes with a hood pulled up over its head, completely casting it in shadow. Elongated limbs that look like maybe dried kindling wrapped in desiccated flesh are visible as it extends one hand to lift an arm. You see under the hood, as Cardot turns to look at it, softly glowing pale blue eyes. Make a history roll for me.
Creature that went to see the lab.
Hmm.
Okay, I'll make a history roll. 17.
It looks a lot like it. You watch as Cardot takes the dome off of one of the bodies and holds a round metal object that has a brass sheen to it. The side of it you can see is stylized with a open eye. He holds it to the body's forehead, and there is a sizzling sound as you watch the skin burn around the coin. When he withdraws it, there is a circle on the forehead with a downward pointed dagger etched into the skin. The what you assume was a corpse, but may have been a living person's eyes open, glazed dead white. He closes the lid, the top
Did that
of it.
match the brass coin's faces? I think it had a dagger.
Make a history roll.
I'll probably check later, but 8.
The brass coin had an eye on one side and a dagger on the other. You have a much lower difficulty check for that because you have a facsimile of it in your possession. He closes the cover back over it, and the figure on the slab eyes close, and they move on to the next one before the vision ends. Oh, and
So
we
guys,
are
that
way
was
over
really
time.
weird. Yeah.
Yeah, we're a bit over, but
I'll go ahead and recount to them and Phil Frizz in a little bit on the guy that we got as our demure favor to check on the similar people from Dr. Cardot 4 in the canisters. So yeah, we were checking if they were, like intelligently viable kind of thing, and that person was who came and checked as our favor, but
yeah.
So,
Okay.
how did he get the coin?
well, we gave it to the Azorius guy that works with the Guild Pact.
It was Sebendulus.
Sebvyn and then Dulis.
Mm-hmm.
And they said they were going to be careful.
We should check up on this person.
I wrote them a letter recently and they returned me the decoy coin that was like it with the acid. I mean, I wrote them like a week ago.
Okay, so I'm not entirely convinced that the entity covering for DOF is just DOF. I kind of wonder if there's more forces at work.
I
that-
mean, probably.
And we know that this, that DOF has a coin, and that the brass coin ended up in somebody else's hands that's experimented. So I'm wondering if those two are connected. The one covering up for DOF and the one who was able to misappropriate the brass coin.
Yeah.
Just that's as far as I want to go with that, because we are long on time. But
Sure, yeah.
I just wanted to get that theory out there.
Yeah, so they just kind of took a 10-minute detour and did a scry and then a few minutes to talk about it. So,
All right. Hey, thanks for sticking with us. This episode went a little bit over. We were going to do a Q&A, but or at least a discussion, but I think we've kind of run over our time. We'll try and do like some talking back and forth and asking questions and talking to each other at the end of next week's. Sound good? All right.
yeah.
Yeah. Especially as low attendance is on this.
Yeah.
We probably want to wait for more people.
All right. I'm going to switch this off of this, so we're going to be at the end show, and saying like thank you for watching. Follow us on Twitter at Bonus Roll, because people should follow us on Twitter at Bonus Roll, especially with our upcoming move and stuff like that. So so they'll know what's going on and when it's going on. But yeah, I'm going to shut off our audio.